And welcome everybody to Hillside Stadium for another season of Kamloops Broncos football here on BCFC TV. Of course, brought to you this season by Remax, as John Keane gets set for the play-by-play alongside my color man for a second season. Brian Olthius is beside me, and we have two teams here, both with something to prove as we kick off a brand new season. We know that Chilliwack and the Valley Huskers didn't win last season, and the Broncos wanting to improve on that 2-8 record, and they'll kick off the season here head-to-head with a 6 o'clock kickoff here to Hillside Stadium.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it just like everybody else is, and of course the two teams as well, especially I guess I would say the Chilliwack team. Bob Reist, a new first-year coach, BCFC, he played in the BCFC, Abbey Air Force. He was a DB, also a captain of the U of M, University of Manitoba for 3 years, so wow, he's inexperienced, yet he's experienced. So we expect good things about them, as well as, of course, our hometown, also a CFL player. Well, not also, because, but that's Brad Yamoka is also, of course, the head coach of the Broncos. So, yeah, everything else seems to be fitting into place, and now we'll just wait for the kickoff here.
And a 6 o'clock kickoff. The Broncos going to a 6 o'clock start, hoping for a little bit more crowd support. Last year, the biggest issue, I think, with crowds was the rain. It seemed like every time the Broncos kicked off the football here at the stadium, the monsoon rains would come. No rain in the forecast tonight, although we do see another gusty wind here moving from our broadcast right to left across the field here, and we'll see how much of a factor that is in our game here later on this evening.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And just before we do it, too, I just have one little comment here. First off, I'd like to extend a continued supportive note to Evan Murtry and family. Our thoughts are always with you all. And this is to Evan personally. And keep busy with your crystal ball outlook on the Kamloops Broncos. Evan, we really appreciate your little exposés on how the games go.
And, of course, Evan was with the Broncos prior to kickoff here tonight, taking part in some of the pregame festivities. So he's an interested spectator here for sure. I'd like to welcome all the Broncos, parents, friends, and family here to our webcast here at beautiful Hillside Stadium. If you're a first-year Bronco parent, another special welcome to you as you follow your son here in our beautiful city here. We got a lot of wildfires in the area, and maybe in the camera shot you might see the odd helicopter or airplane fly by. They're fighting fires at Monty Lake, which is just over the big mountain that you're looking at right now, as well as another outbreak in Clinton, which is to the west of Kamloops. So our thoughts are with the firefighters as well, and the families facing evacuations.
Yeah, and the temperature, I guess, the ball got knocked off the tee already, and just another little thing about the heat. Yes, there's not, the big wind took a lot of it away. There's not much smoke, but the temperature is about 30 plus, 35
33
degrees.
At kickoff, which is now happened here and underway. A little bobble snap, but it's going to be picked up and a crunching hit right away as Harrison Johnson, I should say R.J. Begg with that big hit on Max Joseph. So Joseph took a bouncing kickoff. He got it just across the 20-yard line, and there was R.J. Begg to start the season on a big note for Valley.
Yeah, you got to catch that kickoff in the air, and you can't let it bounce, even in a junior high league. But it did bounce, and that's the way it is, and short little run back. So here we go.
Here is Colby Henkel. What a rookie season last year, top rookie in the BCFC, and now he is in a shotgun formation, second-year quarterback here, and you can expect the Broncos to air some things out here a little bit, and they will start with a passing play. Henkel to his right, complete on that right side. Not much going there, stepping around, a tackle making something out of nothing was Max Joseph. So Joseph into the game early on the kick return, and now a catch here for around a first down, and yes, they will move the chains. Great second effort there.
I was just going to say, great second effort. It was he was trapped, but he broke through and got that first down.
Colby Hinkle, we mentioned his great season he had last year, second in passing yards in the BCFC, only to Noah Faulkner, who is the quarterback for Valley Huskers. So two teams that had trouble running the ball last season had success airing things out, and Hinkle will operate again out of a shotgun from the right hash on 1st and 10. Looking to his left this time, he'll screen it out. It's caught again by Joseph. He will cut it up. He will have enough for a first down and more, crossing midfield, and another good start offensively here. It's Max Joseph on the catch and go.
Yeah, that's 25 yards or so, and he ran sort of tentative, but he stayed with his blockers, so it was, I thought, he can't run that fast, but he was really picking his way nicely through the opposition.
Broncos have to be encouraged with this start. 2 plays, 2 first downs, and now on the Huskers side of center field, they'll spot the ball at the 53-yard line here, 1st and 10. Hinkle from the left hash. He'll operate under a shotgun formation. Again, 3 receivers to his left. He'll hand off this time up the gut. A few yards, not a lot, but Trent Price on the carry should get about 3, maybe 4 on that first down play.
Yeah, also the running game, and I just wanted to mention the most experienced offensive lineman, Derek Waldy for the Broncos, and an excellent student of the game, and takes a player-coach type of position when they practice. So he's their main. He's a 4-year player as well.
It's always good to get the offensive linemen into the broadcast here. They don't usually get a chance unless they're called for holding. Here goes Hinkle, 2nd and about 6. He'll screen it off. Caught over the middle, 1st down and more. Running to the right side, room for Brody Bernier. Bernier, one man to beat, but at the 20-yard line, he is cut down just before the out-of-bounds marker. Mark him at the 21-yard line. Brody Bernier over the middle with a big first down.
They're hitting nicely with that short passing game, just those little dumps over the middle and sort of an open zone there. And maybe they're Chilliwack's getting a little deeper, too deep. But anyhow, it's sure helping the Broncos here.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line for the right hash. Hinkle again out of the shotgun, 1 in the backfield, 4 receivers to the left here, and let's see if he looks that way. Play action, he'll hold on to it, rolling now into the end zone, open man, touchdown! Kamloops Broncos on their first possession of the season are on the board with 6 quick ones here, 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Holy, John, I was very surprised. I was looking, and I thought they had the ball on the ground, and you noticed that he had dummied it a little bit and made that pass.
Tim Salippa, who is a new face this year, went to the same high school in Winnipeg as Derek Yatchison. I know Derek also put in some recruiting work to get Salippa in. And on the very first possession of the Broncos, Salippa, 21-yard touchdown reception. And now the Broncos here will attempt the 1-point conversion. It's kicker Bryce Couture, who has played with a few different teams in the BCFC. He will line it up here for the convert attempt, try to put a cherry on top of this opening drive, but it's a low kick and it's blocked. Not sure that had the height to even make the upright, Brian, but it's going to be 6 instead of 7 here for the Broncos on first possession.
Yeah, a slight slip on the holder, and the ball was not properly set, and so son of a gun for the Broncos anyhow. And if Chilliwack says, "Oh boy, we got a break," so. They were lucky in Chilliwack in terms of it was just a fumbled, it wasn't a forced fumble, so to speak.
Do you think that's the kind of game we're in today for, is this back and forth here? We'll see. Valley's going to get the ball for the first time, but for the Broncos, that's the start they were looking for.
Yeah, just those short little dump passes worked very well. I'm sure they'll keep that up and try to mix it just like they did. And now we'll see what Chilliwack has on their offensive side.
So the Broncos are about to kick off here, but again, now we're going to get the ball teed up here for Couture, who gets a second opportunity to get a leg into it here. But the Broncos move it all the way down the field on the opening possession in only 3 minutes and 1 second, all through the air except for a 4-yard run by Trent Price, and the Broncos are on the board. Now Couture to kick off, and it'll be fielded around the 10-yard line. And up the gut, a little bit of room, 20-25, and that'll do it, stopping about the 28-yard line on the return there. Looked like it was Keegan Vickland, and now Valley will go to work here with their first possession.
Keegan Vickland, as you say, he got in there right away. He was first man down, and he made basically not the whole tackle, but sure made initial contact with that returner. So now we'll see what Chilliwack has, yeah.
Noah Faulkner under center, and we know what he can do. He likes to air the ball out. He led the BCFC in passing yards last season, 2,474, as well as 19 touchdowns, also leading the league in that category. He will operate under shotgun, and lo and behold, he'll hand off here right up the middle, but a great tackle right up the gut there by Jesse Zajeros, the linebacker, stepping up, and no gain, if anything, and it'll bring up second and long.
I agree to what you just mentioned there in terms of stoppage, but no one picked him up. No, there was no lineman on the linebacker of the Broncos, and he has to be accounted for. Obviously, he's right in the middle of the line. So
that was Keegan Vickland on the carry, and they call it actually a loss of about a half a yard, so it's second and nearly 11 here. Faulkner again will operate under a shotgun with everybody in his offensive package to his right side, and now we see in motion DeAndre O'Connor as they swing it around. On the shotgun, Faulkner, he'll handle it. He'll dish it off in a hurry. Pass out of the reach of the intended target, which is Keegan Vickland. And it's going to be 2 and out for the Valley Huskers here, playing into the breeze to start this game. And a good 2 and out hold there for the Kamloops Broncos.
Yeah, it was. They played man coverage. We didn't see any zone yet at all. And they didn't have to do much. In fact, the throw was a little bit off, but now we're going to look at it. They're going to have to kick into that wind right now, and they're way too deep again. I would say those returners.
You're right.
Move up 10, 20, 30. They're about 35 yards.
Two Broncos straddling around the 50-yard line of their own 50-yard line.
I think I'd put 3 back and 1 guy in the mid all times. But anyhow, let them make their decisions here.
The punt on 3rd and 11. It's a good snap. And, a wobbly kick with the wind, and it bounces at the 40-yard line. It'll be fielded there with a no-yards call for sure. And, Brian, the old coach and you had you're going to have to relay that message. There's a couple of seasons now where we've been talking about the punt return team a little bit too deep, and that bounces at the 40-yard line. Tack on likely 5 yards with the no yards, and the Broncos are going to be in good shape here.
Yeah, no, definitely. They got to just put their old-fashioned finger to their tongue and feel where that wind is coming. But there's flags there that they can see. They should have one, but again, they kicked it right into a crowd, so they're very happy to get the ball at that 30-yard line, I do believe. 29?
Yeah, they'll call it the 31 after the 5 yards, no yards penalty. And Henkel, second possession, great field position, a dream start here for the home team to kick off the new BCFC season. It's going to be a handoff up the left side, not a lot of room, little move here. Again, it's Joseph, and Joseph's going to be gang tackled at around the 35-yard line here, so not much doing on that play, and it's going to be second and long.
Yeah, it was a fly sweep, and they just like to have him in motion, and he's coming and just hand the ball off, but they didn't have a good concentrated movement of the offensive line on the left side, so they're going to have to keep that with blocks and push him downfield a little bit.
So it is 2nd and 10, clock moving here, and again, Henkel will operate out of the shotgun, and what'll be likely a passing down. Henkel from the shotgun, takes a snap, looks over the middle. He'll scramble out of the pocket, now look to take off. He's in trouble. He'll go down. He's sacked. And that is around the line of scrimmage again. And it will bring up 3rd down here in decision time now for the Broncos.
It is a decision. I'm just thinking, do you kick for the field goal? I know they have the wind. Or do they take it? Do they go to 3rd down and take a chance on getting a 10-yard gain?
Couture, the kicker, is out, so they will elect to go with Bryce Couture here, and this will be here. If we can quickly do the math, we're looking at about a 35, 30, 42, 43-yarder here, Brian. So 43, yes, the wind is there, but the accuracy has to be there. A 43-yarder, this would be a great way for Couture to start his season with the Broncos if he can connect.
That line is sure bent on the. They're giving him maybe a little too much room here on this side for the Broncos.
Up, down, and it's kicked. It has the distance, and it's wide, but it will go for a single point. Had the distance with the wind, a low kick, a driving kick with the breeze, but it will be a single, and the Broncos will increase their lead here to 7-0.
Yeah, I guess they got that convert now. And not I guess. It's up there now. So they got the 7 that they needed at least. But
is that a Valley Huskers victory there for sure. I mean, you
Yes.
started there on the 35, 40-yard line after the no yards call, so they're able to limit it just to 1 point, and they'll take over right from the 35.
Oh, they have to be happy. Yeah, definitely. And again, that takes. See, now in the second quarter is going to be a long quarter, and that's when the Broncos are going to be against the wind. So I would have rather, if you're a Bronco coach, I don't know, maybe they didn't have the choice, but we wanted every time it's that long extended 3-minute
Second and the fourth, yeah.
Yes, that you want to go, especially if there's a big wind. I'd try to gamble on that or toss a coin for that, for sure.
Faulkner hands it off. A little bit of room here up the middle and tackled before short gain. It's going to be Grayson Marquardt up the gut. He should have around 6, and it will be second down. So Faulkner here, when you're into the wind and you're passing, always a little bit more difficult to throw into the wind than it is with the wind. So that's maybe why Valley is elected here to run the ball a little more.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what is in their mind, and they're hopeful to settle down in the next quarter. But here, of course, it's a passing down. Well, yeah, 4 or 5 yards to get.
Second and 4, shotgun Faulkner. He will quickly pass it, and it is out of the reach of the intended target. Again, he was looking for number 21, Grayson Marquardt, for the second straight play. And again, it's a 2-and-out for Valley, and the Broncos have to be really energized defensively that they've been able to hold Valley without a first down.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. 97, just coming off the field now. We had a good rush. He was probably, I think, the quickest lineman in, and did a good job. Curtis Muchman.
Curtis Muchman, a veteran of this team now. And he applied the pressure, and that maybe had Faulkner throw it a little bit before he wanted to.
They're still giving him too much respect.
Yeah, this is the punt formation.
Sounds like an old man now.
Well, we'll see what happens. The punt is up, and again, it's into the breeze. It'll bounce on the Broncos side of center. Fielded there at the 50-yard line, right up the middle.
Fumbled.
Ball's on the ground. Fumble, and Valley has it right back. A fumble by the Broncos. They had great field position coming, but Hitesh Parekh could not control that. And it'll be Valley here on their side of center.
Do what you got to do, yeah, exactly, and make them kick it over their heads. Make them at this stage. It's only going to go 30 yards anyhow if it goes over, and it bounced back. Or no, I guess it was a fumble. It was tackled, but still, it's
gives Valley some life here anyways. They've yet to see Bronco territory as they will scrimmage from their own 53-yard line.
Oh, yeah, this gives them time to kill the clock, too, in terms of even if they just want to run it and they don't want to throw into the wind. So this is the big advantage to Chilliwack.
Faulkner 3 in the backfield now. They'll split out. And just a lone back now. Faulkner will go back to pass. He will look to his right, and just a little flag comes in late in the play as DeAndre O'Connor was bumped, but didn't look like it was going to be a catchable ball there.
No, I did not. I'm surprised that official had to throw that flag there. Had to. He didn't have to, but he called it. And no, that's a very, I would say, suspect call.
Todd Wiseman, the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, was all the way out on the field there and maybe trying to plead his case a little bit there on the defensive side of the ball. And it will be a first down and a automatic first down after what looks to be, they call it point of foul. Looks like about an 8-yard penalty, but it'll be first down regardless. And they will move this chains here. They have to get the chains in place here.
He's a little bit slow, that guy there.
Yeah.
Come on, move your men.
Yeah, they have to, now they'll
They
do
gave
it
him a
here.
first. Yeah, there they go.
Down,
they said it, but
we have the bird's eye view, of course, up here. We can see everything before it happens.
That's true.
So they'll be first down from the Broncos 48. Faulkner again 3 in the I formation, and now they'll split out up the middle. Not much room this time, and buried on the play is Keegan Vicklin. It'll be a loss. We got a couple of players tied up downfield a little bit, but both number 7s will separate. Nathan Desnoyers and Connor Thornwell, but they were tied up, and it's a big loss of, what was that, a 6-yard loss in the play?
Yeah, that is
wow.
It wasn't even it wasn't a sack, so to speak. It was a running play. So that's not good. But again, it kills the clock. The clock is still moving away. And
6.5 to go in this first quarter now. And
and I'm trying to say it to the official here with me right next to me to say, come on, get that clock.
The old coach always has an eye on that clock here, right?
Yeah, there's always something there, yes.
So, again, it's a second and long situation here for Valley. And we got a flag here right away. So
too long.
Yeah, time count violation. So, yeah, I think that Valley's trying to do what you're talking about here, and just maybe trying to use all of that play clock. And that time it cost them 5 yards. So it will be second and about 21 now.
Yeah, exactly. I think it being with your back to the clock, too, they have to have someone on the bench saying, hey, you only got this much time, but maybe they don't care about it. They're not going to make a first down probably anyhow, but it'll be very tough to.
Well, unless someone can break a couple of tackles, it'll be tough to throw the ball 21 yards into the breeze and make a completion with the way the wind is howling right now for Faulkner.
Now they're in a 30 front, we see, and so they're backing away. They're expecting a pass, and you would think it'd have to be a pass now.
Faulkner will air it out into the breeze. It'll hold up there, and it's behind the intended receiver, which was on the play. Let's see. Incompletion regardless, but it was, to DeAndre O'Connor, who's been a favorite target here for Valley in this first quarter.
Yeah, he the throw, too, was he threw it as far as he could just about, but it didn't. It sort of faded 2/3 of the way to his receiver, and it sort of fell to the ground into that heavy wind. But
Broncos are up 7-0 as we play here in this first quarter. Clock now moving under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. And again, the Broncos will be receiving the punt. Last time this happened, there was a fumble on the play. It gave Valley good field position, unable to do anything with it.
Look at the block.
Well, the punt gets away. It's a low one. It'll bounce into bodies. And again, a fumble on the play, but it's picked up and recovered. No yards coming anyway, so it won't matter. But that was Josh Isaac on the return. Always tough to pick up a punt when you have all sorts of opposition jerseys around you, but you know that anything will be a no yards call if you do lose the football. And again, it was lost there for a second, but it will be the Broncos likely taking over here with a 5-yard advantage after the no yards.
Yeah, and just another little thing on our new head coach for Chilliwack, the new head, Bob Reist, is that I just wanted to mention as well that he was on a Vanier Cup in 2007 that they won, and he was coached by the legendary Brian Doby, who is an icon in the collegiate league in the Vanier Cup hunt, so to speak. So they've got good new people coming in, and also one of the assistants is Corey Hamadi, the offensive coordinator. Very good football family he came from, and anyhow, I just wanted to comment that you build around good people, things that you've won in the past, and of course it's going to help and be positive when you get to the practice field.
We had no yards, but we also had an illegal block on the play, and the illegal block was against the Broncos. So the Broncos won't get that advantage. In fact, they'll start 5 yards back from where that penalty took place. It will be 1st and 10 Broncos here. From the 43-yard line, call it. And the Broncos have some time here to move with the wind. 5.5 to go in this opening quarter. And the Broncos with a 7-0 lead. Henkel, shotgun, looks to his right, screens it out there. It's caught there by Ablett. Little bit of room, and he'll stretch the ball across the 50. But it will bring up second down and likely about 3 yards.
That was a nice little hitch pass again, and I thought Andrew Pokranik, I think I'm saying the name right, did a very good sort of stock block on the first man through to help him spring that 7-yard gain. It's a pretty good gain, and I don't want to say they're on a march, but it's the first play of the series. Anyway.
Broncos have come out and executed pretty well on offense here. They've, some shorter passes that you mentioned the blocks stepping up in front. And Colby Henkel having a better understanding of the offense, according to head coach Brad Yamoka, heading into this season. He will operate now second and about 3 or 4 from the 50-yard line. It's Henkel under center. He will pass, caught, complete, first down, able to break a tackle. A little bit more room here to run here for Tim Salipa. And he's be dragged down there at about the 46-yard line, but Tim Salipa has shown himself to be a little slippery here in this first quarter.
Definitely. He shakes his tackler off twice, I think, so far. Very nice run. And, yeah, he has a good little technique that he has perfected to get away from his first tackler.
Well, this Broncos pass first offense just might play into his cards, but this time they'll hand it out. Not a lot of room here, but fighting forward. That was, I believe that was Trent Price on the carry, just trying to get a number to us here. But it will be a gain of about 4 or 5.
Yeah, I didn't see who exactly that was, but again, it was a good second effort, like you say. They've been running with determination, and that's what they have to be doing. And again, they have 3 more minutes with that big wind, and we'll see what. Well, it looks like it passes. Well, of course, it's a passing situation in terms of how they're going to line up, but they could run the ball.
Yeah, second and about 5, just shy of 5 yards, and Henkel back to pass. He will look over the middle. Pressure coming now. He's flushed, and he will throw an incomplete pass. Intending the ball there for Brody Bernier, but it was a low throw after the pressure came and forced Henkel to get rid of that one a little quicker than he wanted to.
Yes, that was the case there. And now you're in a sort of situation that, yeah, as a coach, anyhow, you have to start thinking offensively, that is, what do we want to do? Do we want to pin them? And I think definitely you want to pin them. So I would aim at Mount Paul, maybe, which is about, that would be the 20-yard line. So you want to be about, you want to aim about where the referee is at the 20 or so. And I don't know if it's coming across the field. It is now, it looks like.
Yeah, the flags have shifted here, so we could see this punt take a direction here away from our broadcast location.
15 should aim right at that referee over there, or the official, not a referee, but an official.
The wind is picked up here again on this 3rd and 5 play.
Yeah.
And we have a flag here even before. I don't think people were organized there in time, as the Broncos were late getting a player onto the field here, so it is a time count violation, so march it back 5 yards, and the Broncos will now be 3rd and 10.
2 ex-CFL coaches, that's Todd Wiseman and Brad Jamoka, are discussing it. They were, and I don't know if they're going to say you were wrong or you were wrong.
Well, they had to get their personnel on the field, and Broncos had 1 late arriving, so punt attempt now from Couture. He will angle it for the sidelines, but it's angled off the side of his foot, and it'll go out just in front of the 30, call it the 32-yard line. And it's not a great kick, that's for sure, or a punt, and the Broncos will now be forced into a defensive role again. But, hey, Broncos, yeah, they don't get a lot of net from that punt, but their defense has shown that they are ready to stop the run and put a little bit of pressure on Falconer and try to get into his face here.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. I like that, how you spring a positive spin of positive form, and I really mean that. It's sure it is. They've been solid.
So Falconer out of the shotgun. He will hand it off up the middle. Some room this time of 5-6 maybe. And again on the carry, it looks like it was running back there again was that Eddie Perrin maybe getting a first touch in the backfield, Eddie Perrin.
That was a good burst by Eddie, yeah. There was a little crisscross play in the backfield, and second man took the ball, and that was Eddie, and made a good job, and it's halfway there to a first down.
So the clock continues to run here, and I'm sure Chilliwack would love to extend this drive into the second quarter so they can take advantage of this breeze, but they have a 2nd and 5 in front of them now. As Faulkner again, he has 3 options in the backfield, 2 receivers to his right. Back split out now, and will join the passing play to the left side, complete, and it should be enough for a first down as it reached the 45-yard line. Nice little completion, and again, that's DeAndre O'Connor, who's been one of the top targets here for Falconer.
Yeah, and into the wind he threw it. It's not as gusty as it was, but he threw a nice little pass there, definitely, and they got first or second first down so far, I think.
All right, so it will be a first down for the Huskers here, trying to march into Broncos territory. That'll operate just on top of their 45-yard line. And again, Faulkner here with options to his right side, 2 receivers to his left. And now players in motion. Quick pass, left side, and into the arms here.
Yeah.
Is it intercepted?
It's
It is
intercepted.
intercepted. Yes, intercepted right off the left hash mark. And a nice defensive play by Cole Avery. So Cole Avery, we're wondering before the game who will replace Jordan Angove in that secondary for all the interceptions he had last season. And there is Avery stepping up with a big pick.
Oh, very close coverage, too, for the full length of the pass attempt, so to speak. And so, yes, he just took it and partially robbed it from the Chilliwack player, but good force on the offensive side, even though you're playing defense.
So the Broncos will take over. That is the second turnover, now one aside in this first quarter. And Colby Henkel will go to work from his right hash. He will play action. No, he'll hand it off up the middle. Not a lot of room. Crossing the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple of yards.
For hearing that or understanding from talking to the coaches before, especially the Broncos, very impressed with the offensive line. And again, I mentioned Derek Waldy. I said that before. And the other guys, Tristan Murray, another experienced player. So, no, they've been doing a fairly good job there.
Didn't catch the number on that 4-yard gain.
No, I'm short on that one too.
And I believe that was Andrew Pokradik. Okay, and it will be 2nd and 6. Henkel passing this time out of the reach for the intended target. Tim Salipa looking for Salipa again on 2nd down. So it's going to be a quick 2 out. And it will be a punting situation now for the Broncos with 14 seconds to go in the quarter. So at least they get the punt with the wind here, Brian, before turning the wind over to the Valley Huskers in the second quarter.
Yeah, we always talk about it, but now you look at the flags are sort of,
it's starting to, well, for the time being, at least calm down. But
yeah, you can't win them all.
Wind picks up now as we speak, blowing straight in the Broncos' favor. We check those flags here. It's a good gusty wind here today. And the snap to Couture, and he'll let a high punt aiming toward the sidelines. And again, that's way out of bounds, hitting the track beyond the team's bench. And that's not going to be an overall far punt when they do the math on that. They're going to mark it out at the 50-yard line. So it's almost like Couture's been punting into the breeze in this first quarter.
Yes, that was a 10-yard net punt. Holy curly.
Why are special teams at this level so difficult? Is it just the lack of experience as far as running a lot of special teams plays?
Well, I think that, and also the first game of the season, I know you have prep for a couple of weeks, and of course you do special teams, but you want the O and the defensive situations set. And the special teams it shouldn't. It's just a third, especially in the CFL or in the Canadian game. It's especially more important than it is in the American game.
So last play here, barring a penalty of this first quarter, Faulkner back to pass. He'll air it to his right side. Complete, caught, a little bit of room here, not a lot. And that was Grayson Marquardt on the reception, running back out of the backfield with the catch, and that'll do it here for the first quarter. The Broncos will take a 7-0 lead now into the second quarter. After scoring on their first possession, Brian, we saw the Broncos march it all the way down after the opening kickoff. Other than that, a missed field goal single from Couture from 42, and it's a Broncos 7-0 lead.
Yes, it's a good, steady game, and I look forward to seeing a little bit more, I don't want to say passing out of Chilliwack, because, but I mean, I'm sure they'll go to the air a little bit because of the changing wind directions, but no, it's both teams are, it's like you say, 7-0. What do? You can't say much about that.
All right, so it will be the Valley Huskers offense on this hot July Kamloops day, 33 degrees at kickoff. And you know that that'll play a toll here in this game at some point. About half the Broncos bench is in shade right now, and that'll change as the evening progresses. But Valley out in the dead heat of the sun here just after 6:30.
That's the home team advantage, and I'm not trying to be silly, but that is part of it.
Over the middle, caught, popped up in the air, and it's actually going to be caught instead
by by an old lineman, but he was over the line at scrimmage.
Yeah, Kevin Trabig, actually.
Should be a penalty there.
Sorry, that was Colby Dick, I should say. Colby Dick on the catch, but there is a flag down, so we'll see if that is an ineligible receiver here for Valley.
I was just going to say there's officials with us, and I'll tell you I was going to.
The ball was tipped, so does that change the fact it was first tipped up in the air?
Is that what they mentioned? Okay.
I think maybe that's why, because it bounced off the initial receiver.
Well, they gave him a first down.
Colby Dick was right there to pick it up. So not often you see a reception on the O-line side in the box score at the end of the day, but there's one there. And the Valley Huskers will operate 1st and 10 now from the Broncos' 45-yard line. It is Faulkner out of the shotgun. One back, and it'll be handoff there. Not a lot of room. A little bit of shake and bake, but unable to really get it going was Keegan Vicklin. First in was Nick Shire, I believe, there providing pressure in the backfield.
Yeah, Curtis Muchman, too. I thought he did a pretty good job of he had him and let him slip, but then he got up again because he didn't want to he wanted to get back in the action, and then he helped to make the final tackle. It was a pretty good effort there, and the run as well. It was a pretty good effort by the running backs.
So call it a gain of 1.5, maybe 2. 2nd and 8, and it's 2nd and long here. 3 in the backfield again here for Noah Faulkner, who we mentioned likes to pass the ball, but Valley's been pretty balanced on offense so far. Faulkner will pass this time to his left side, caught, and it's caught there, and late flag comes in. As, again, Colby Dick, if listed as an offensive lineman here, but that's going to be his second completion here of their catch of this drive. But there is a flag down, and maybe that is regarding the number. Another conversation going on here from the officials. Was he an eligible receiver or not? He's wearing that offensive lineman number of 58, but well, they are going to call actually a penalty against the Broncos. Looked like it was unnecessary roughness against the Broncos, Brian. So unnecessary roughness will be the call, and that'll march at, 15 yards, I believe, here for the Valley Huskers as they knock on the door.
Yeah, I did not pick that up at all, but obviously officials on one side of me, and no one really saw it, but wow, that's a...
Came right at the end of the play after the reception.
Oh, okay.
So it might have been something on the tackle or a little bit of a late hit. So march it all the way now to the 27-yard line of the Broncos, and Valley is in an opportunity to score their first points here of this game. Trailing 7-0, early second quarter, now with the breeze. Faulkner, he'll hand off up the middle. Big hole this time. Lots of room up the left side and tackled at the 5-yard line. Good burst of speed coming from Valley's running back, Keegan Vicklin, who is able to break free on that occasion and sets up 1st and goal.
It was a good burst. He saw that opening, and then he really poured it on. And just one little funny incident, and then this is their first series that they've ran the ball well, and so it's shocking to see what has happened in this last little bit. But
I'm sure the Broncos prepare for the pass all week long as they get set for it here. But we all know that teams last season ran on the Broncos a lot. They had good success from it, so Valley trying to implement that here as they try to kick off the season. So it's Faulkner, 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. He will pass to his right, throws it up for grabs, and way out of the reach. Again, intending there for Keegan Vicklin out of the backfield, and it will be 2nd and goal. And again, you get that ball up in the wind, you try to make a little touch pass there, but that's awfully difficult when you have the breeze there kind of pushing that ball away from the receiver.
Yeah, no, I see that. That definitely was a case there, and it took off. Yeah, he had the wind with him, as you say, and it just overthrew his receiver.
Is this 3-down territory right here for Valley? I mean,
I think
knocking
so.
On the door here.
Yeah.
Best movement of the game offensively. 2nd and goal now from the 5.
I'm surprised they didn't run the first play, tell you the truth, but...
Well, we will see what Valley has up here now. 2nd and goal from the 5. Faulkner trying to get everybody lined up here now.
And now they look like they
looks like a running play as they split the backfield now. And they will pass it up to the left side. Open man, and it's caught. It's a touchdown for Valley. And it's a nicely executed play as Nathan Desnoyers comes through with the catch and the 6, and Valley's on the board here. Now a convert away from tying this game.
Yeah, it was a nice little wide out. There was no motion, but he did a little out pattern and caught it after 5 yards over the goal line, and looked very comfortable. A good throw by the quarterback as well, and it made Kamloops, I think, look. Hey, what are we doing?
Nathan
Desnoyers,
or if it's the French pronunciation, Desnoyers. We'll get back to you on halftime on that one, but it will be a convert here to an attempt to tie the game, although play has been blown dead here for a second. Convert attempt coming from Danny Harris, who also doubles as a defensive back, trying to tie the game here at 7. Ball is kicked, and it's good. Good solid leg there.
Ooh, was it ever?
And it's a tie game, 7-7. So credit the Huskers with the wind, able to tie up this game, and all the points so far tonight have been with the wind at the team's backs.
No, it has been a very good. Each team that has gone with the wind has had much more success than the other way around. All the players, other than maybe 1 or 2 series, over the 55-yard line in terms of going north or south to north. So, yes, it's that woke them up, I'm sure, and both teams are, of course, with a tied score, it has to be very even here.
Look back to last season's matchups between these two teams, and you had the Broncos winning both, including the game here to close out the regular season back on September 24th, 38-33 Broncos. Back earlier, 2 weeks before that, September 10th in Chilliwack, it was a Broncos 30-23 victory. And through all that, of course, the Huskers finished 0-10, and the Broncos 2-8 last season, both missing the playoffs. We get set for the kickoff now, as lots of wind at the back for the kicker. Just made the convert there, Danny Harris, and Harris will kick off. A good boot here. That'll chase the returner all the way back into the back corner of the end zone, and that'll go for, I believe, a single point, unless he didn't touch it here now. I'm not sure if that'll be the single or not. I believe it will be, yes. And the Huskers have now taken the lead on a big boot from Harris, who showing that with the wind he can really let it go.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they gave him enough. Maybe they didn't care if it was going to go that deep. We don't want to just get it out to the 10-yard line. We'll give them the point, or we'll give them the point. But we want the ball on the 30.
So it will be the Broncos scrimmaging here. Yeah, 35-yard line. So a chance for them to move it on offense, which really no team has shown they can do into the wind here so far this evening. As we approach 7 o'clock. Broncos with an earlier 6 o'clock kickoff as opposed to previous years, a 7 o'clock start time here at Hillside Stadium. And now Henkel will operate. He will hand it off right up the middle, up the gut there, about 4, maybe 5 yards. And that's Price on the carry one more time. Or, sorry, make that Jacob. Was that Trent Price or was that Jacob Tubajon getting a first carry of the evening for him?
I thought it was Trent Price, but you had a better view, I do believe.
These running backs at 25 and 28 and 29. Tough here for our eyes to see it up there. Tubajon has dropped some weight this season. He was more of a bigger up-the-gut physical back last season, but he's come ready here in good shape. And now Henkel passing. He'll screen it off. Broncos trying to set up the blocks here, and it's going to be caught, and not a lot of room there at all to Nick Shire to maneuver with, and it will bring up a 3rd and long scenario here, and probably a punting scenario here for the Broncos.
He didn't get much of a block out there from his wideout, and there was literally no gain on that, and so 3rd and 5 yet to get there. So now is the kick into the wind, and what do you do?
Well, Bryce Couture here will look for a little bit better luck than he had in that first quarter with the breeze. And he'll now be punting, standing back at his own
Yes.
25-yard line.
They're doing the same thing as the Broncos now, way too deep.
Yeah, there's two returners back at the 35, and this punt was a good low one, actually. A little bounce at around the 45, picked up at the 42. And trying to set up some blocks here. It's Vicklin up the middle. He will return it to around the 50-yard line. So good low driving punt that time from Couture. He got the job done, and it will be Valley going here on offense.
I don't sound like a real old man. I'm old, but you've got to have a guy put one halfway and then the other maybe two more deep, because you know you're going to punt. They're not going to, and it's a detriment to both of the offensive teams. But here we go again.
All right, so it will be 1st and 10 from their own 50. Valley will go to work now with a 1-point lead, leading 8-7 after that kickoff single. Falconer will operate. Again, shotgun formation. He'll give up the middle. It's Vicklin, and he'll have maybe two. So Keegan Vicklin has really become a workhorse here for Valley on offense, and it'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, he is their major guy, and again, just a gain of about 2, I think. And now it's a passing down. Can they? We'll see what kind of speed they have on the outside. They completed one, of course, pass for a touchdown, and see what they can do now.
All right, so it will be 2nd and 8, and it is Faulkner again out of the shotgun, and a very familiar offensive set here for Valley. Passing situation. Faulkner looks over the middle, and he will throw it away. I think the intended target there was Desnoyers, but nothing doing. But there is a flag on the play, and I think quarterback Faulkner got hit late, Brian, and if it is roughing the passer, it'll be auto first down, and Valley will continue this drive.
Oh, it'll be a big one if it is. Yeah, I did not notice it, but yes, it is roughing the passer, I do believe. So they'll be inside just outside the 45, inside the 45-yard line.
And we'll see, again, the referee has his microphone directly pointed into the breeze. So every time he turns it on, all we do is hear the Kamloops wind. And I'm thinking our head official, Jeff Hewitt, may abandon that microphone here at some point. With that breeze blowing, but it is a big penalty, Brian. It is roughing the passer, and it is a big first down here for Valley.
Yeah, that definitely puts the Broncos at. They had them stop basically, but here we go.
All right, so first down after the roughing the passer penalty. Faulkner. No, that one's going to be a draw play, I should say. A little bit of room there to the 45. Give him 4 or 5 yards on the run. And I think it was Logan Fields on the tackle there for the Broncos, limiting that gain to about 4.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they don't start throwing the ball a little bit more. They like I say earlier, they scored their touchdown there, and they're being very predictable. Both teams were running on first, and if it's second down, they would throw, but...
Broncos down a point here, trying to defend. Ball at the 45-yard line. And the Huskers will operate. It is 2nd and about 7 here. 3 receivers to the left. Faulkner will look to his right. He'll throw it there. And nice defensive play. Great play there by Connor Thornwell, who got his right arm in there, breaking up that sure first down pass. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Exactly what you just said happened, and it was done beautifully, as you say. He didn't go with his left hand. He went with his right hand to scoop it away, and didn't touch the receiver at all. Hardly great defensive play. Good throw by the quarterback too for Chilliwack, but
yeah, that was just a solid knockdown there by Connor Thornwell, and it brings up 3rd down. And look at the Kamloops punt returner is standing inside his own end zone. I'm not sure why you'd even be in the end zone, because you likely would give up a single, but they'll actually try an onside kick here, and it's going to be fielded at the 35-yard line, and a good heads-up play there by Landon Wilkinson just to jump on that play. You have the wind at your back, Coach, and you're trying an onside kick, onside punt. I just don't – I mean, we're not coaching, but for me, pound it deep and make the Broncos try to move it out of their own shadows of their goalposts.
Yes. No, you had it figured out.
I mean, sometimes you can outcoach yourself, right? I mean, what are you trying to do there with an onside punt when you can punt it deep and maybe even pin him inside the 10-yard line?
Yeah, exactly. I can't answer that, but because I wouldn't have done that, I'll tell you.
Well, maybe an expansion team, Brian. I think we have to put our resumes in to coach, right? All right, so it is a shotgun here for Henkel. He'll look to his right. He'll throw there. It's complete, caught. A little bit of room, but not a lot here for the reception on the play, and that was caught by Brody Bernier, who is a favorite target of Henkel last season as well, and it will bring up second and about 5 yards. Quickly, Broncos here electing to get under center quickly here. Yeah. I'm not sure you'd want to use the clock, I think, into the wind here, but now Henkel slows it down a little bit in the shotgun formation. He will. Play action. He'll keep the ball. He'll look deep on the right side, looking down the sidelines, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line. Picked off there by Desmond Jeanson, and it's going to operate kind of like a punt on the deep pass that'll be caught, and now just inside the 40-yard line, the Valley Huskers will take over. So quickly, it's the Huskers back on offense.
Well, Jeanson did a great job of just sort of riding them off, and he did it legally. He did a very good job of coverage, and so the ball went that direction. But yeah, I get what I'm trying to say is the returner, receiver, I should say, of the Broncos should have been a little bit more forceful to get to the ball. But
they'll march it they'll call it the 39-yard line of Valley. So. Yeah, the interceptions always look good, but it'll turn out to be like a 30-yard punt for the Broncos on second down as it was intercepted. And now Valley will take over here. 1st and 10 from just inside their own 40 with a 1-point lead. Again, it's Faulkner. He will. Handoff. Vicklin up the middle. Flag again comes in late in the area where it usually is holding. But I think this penalty is going to go against the Broncos on what is the initial look at it here. Oh, no, holding. It is holding, sorry.
No, I saw the same look. I thought that
the back judge called it a hold and pointed against the Broncos here.
He did. He'll be evaluated after this, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure he's ready for the CFL if he keeps up this pace here. All right. Well, no challenges here from the coaches here. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So it's 1st and 20 now after the holding call, which marches them back 10 yards. Just over 7 minutes to play in this first half. It's an 8-7 lead for Valley after the Broncos took the ball in the very first possession of the game and put up 7 on a 21-yard touchdown completion to Tim Salipa. Faulkner, shotgun, takes the snap, drops back and just throws it away, throws it into the feet of his receiver, and looked like that play wasn't executed very well. Faulkner, realizing that, just threw it away without taking the intentional grounding.
Well, 99 Logan Fields did a great job. I think he's a first-year player, I'm pretty sure, and pretty stout and built like a little truck. Smaller truck, mind you, but he did a great job by noticing that it was going to be a little dump pass, and he covered that. Covered the receiver, so the quarterback had nowhere to go.
All right, so it brings up 2nd and 20 here, and Faulkner has the win. Let's see if he tries to air something out here, and he'll just throw a short pass. It's caught there, and a little bit of room, but completion on the play to Denver Lebedeau, and it will be short of the first down, but not bad yardage, about 14-15 third down.
Yeah, he could have been caught. There was I was looking for Jesse Jaharis. Yeah, he came up and they didn't need it because they had 5 yards to go, but he could have made a good little tackle earlier and held them back. But anyhow, here we go on this kicking in with the wind.
And it will be a punting situation here. It's going to be Danny Harris back there to punt. We've already seen his leg in this game with the breeze, padding those punting stats here early on in week 1 of the BCFC.
A little shallow. I would say they're a little shallow, but
punt is up. It's a high, good kick into the wind. It's going to chase the returner all the way back. It bounced, and Brian cringes here as it bounces all the way into the end zone.
Mother.
It'll be fielded there by Max Joseph, and Joseph's going to try to bring it out here. And by try, I mean he will bring it out. He'll just get across the end zone line and get it to the 2-yard line. I'm not sure you want to bring that out into the breeze.
In this league,
that's
it's
right.
A little
you do
different.
get all the way. You do get the yards if you do bring it out.
To the 25 or 20? To the 20.
20-yard line, yeah. So I guess a good decision by Joseph to get it out. It looked like he was buried in his own end zone, but he was able to bring it out.
Yes. No, it was they should have been playing deeper in the first place, and yes.
They just can't get that punt coverage sorted out here on both sides, with the wind or against the wind.
No, they can't please all these coaches up here.
Well, with Joseph getting it across the goal line, it does move out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
And the Broncos here trying to maybe get some of that clock taken care of here as well, as they do trail by a point into this breeze. And the shotgun, it's Henkel. He'll look to his left, trot, complete, caught there. A little bit of room, but short of the first down. Nice little completion there to Nick Shire, and it will be second and short.
You got it. He threw that just like it was on a close line, straight one to the receiver, and the receiver picked it. As soon as he caught it, turned it upfield and gained a couple more yards. He didn't get a first down, but a good against the wind. It's a pretty safe little pass.
Well, it'll be still 4 yards or so short of the first down. I'll call it 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard reception by Shire. It's Henkel out of the shotgun. He will hand it off this time. A little bit of room and first down yardage here. It's going to be close. Yeah, the second effort will get the running back over the 35-yard line, and it will be a first down. And is that Price again on the handoff?
I do believe it was him. I thought it was the best carry of the game. He ran low, he followed his blockers, and it was an excellent run.
Spotter up here says it was Pokranic on the carry. So number 20 in the backfield that time with that last touch.
Pokranic.
And the first down. So Henkel with a fresh set of downs will operate shotgun again. He will look over the middle and quick little reception. Caught. A little bit of room there. And a first down yardage here again. Nice catch and run. Brody Bernier on the reception, crossing the 45 to the 47-yard line. And the Broncos have a good little drive going here late in this first half.
They're going no huddle. They want to hurry. I can see the quarterback is they get 3 minutes and a half. I mean, it's a long time in that 3 minute.
Yeah, it's
you don't have to hurry
it's
now.
Another quarter altogether sometimes.
Yes.
And this time play action. They will hand it off. Left side, a little bit of room here to run for the back to the left side as Pokranic again. Good yards. It'll be close to a first down on Andrew Pokranic's big run up the left side.
Yeah, they look composed, and again, I really say it all Chilliwack has to do really is put enough guys in that line of scrimmage, because they just about know, or you would consider anyways, they would think that hey, all they're going to do is run the ball. They're running the ball now, move a couple of linebackers a little tighter, whatever it has to do to stop them. But now it's going to be a big, long run from one end to the other, but I think they can see that they want to measure.
Well, it is, yeah. The chain gang will come in here, but it does look to be a little short. This is actually, if you want to call it, Brian, this football pretty much splits us here at the 53-yard line. So if it reaches my elbow, it's a first down. If it's on your elbow, we'll go second down, and it will be
a half a yard.
Yeah, at least a half yard.
Come on, officials. I mean, they want to. I don't know.
Well, it was tough to see it on the far left hash from where the chains were.
That's
so they'll
true.
Spot it.
You don't want to be wrong.
And, if you're the Broncos, you're probably okay with this being second and short, because you can take a little bit more time off the clock here. There's 3 minutes, 3:02 actually to go before we reach the timeout. And the Broncos here can operate this maybe as a free play, but nothing is a given in the BCFC, so we'll see how the Broncos approach this second down play.
I can't see them throwing it, but
I'm going to say they're going to air it out here.
Okay.
This is the that old game you used to play in the bar here. What was it? QB1? We already have flags. We have early movement here, so the Broncos might have jumped, but we did see Valley into that neutral zone as well. And it will be a procedure call against the Broncos. So now we'll see second and about 5.5.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
I think Valley did a good job of drawing that because their linemen and their linebackers crowded the line, and I think it made one of the old linemen jump there on the Broncos side, which marches it back.
Oh, good point. I did not see that, but yes, that would have been a good. I mean, it's a good play. Now it's 2nd and 5, and it's a long ways to go against a team that knows you're going to run. But now it's 3-minute warning, so the referees have got to do their obligatory talk to each other and decide where they're going to go after the game.
Well, the Broncos here looking better on this drive as they quickly whistle this play in and get ready to go. Of course, now the clock won't start until the ball is snapped. And the last 3 minutes, we know that a lot can happen in the final 3 of the first half and the second half. As now a 2nd and 5.5 situation puts Henkel back on a shotgun situation. Henkel takes the snap. He will look to his left, throw complete, caught, nice catch. And again on the far side of the field, that's another reception for Tim Salipa. He's becoming a pretty good possession receiver on 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, and he will get the first down.
I'd say excellent as well. And also the quarterback looking. He always looks. He throws and has a nice throwing action and quick release. So it's those little 7-yarders or whatever. Here it made the first down, of course.
Of course, the Broncos here trying to become the first team in the game here tonight to score into the breeze as they operate now on the Valley side of center. Henkel pumps once, pumps twice now, throws it up the left side. Flag on the play. He'll out-throw his receiver, but a flag down where you usually see some sort of illegal contact or pass interference call against the defense. We'll see what it is. And Henkel, judging by the clapping he's doing with the 2 officials, and it will be a penalty here against the Broncos, and that'll give the penalty against the Valley Huskers, and that'll give the Broncos a first down.
I'm interested in the call, though.
They call it illegal contact, and you can see it happened probably 15 to 20 yards away from where that ball was thrown. So somewhere in the route, there was some contact there. So that moves it to the 40-yard line, and the Broncos have a fresh set of downs here. 2:32 to go in this first half.
And the clock stopped, so they have still a lot of time on this 2.5 minutes to go here.
See if the Broncos here realize the clock situation they're in here, or just go at it the way it is. Maybe try to keep this one on the ground, keep that clock moving here. 1 in the backfield, and it will be Henkel passing. It's caught, and about a 5-yard gain there before the receiver is wrapped up. That's Matt White on the reception, and White will move it about 5 yards.
Matt White had a nice hand action. He reversed his hands on that catch and looked very comfortable doing that. It was didn't make too many yards, so they got about halfway. 5-yard gain.
Now they'll whistle the play in, and the Broncos right up on the ball here as they whistle the play in. Henkel here trying to get organized.
It looks like Chilliwack, was barely giving him a yard there, but.
And some time for Henkel over the middle. Caught, reception, first down and more. A little bit of room. Trying to cut back to the middle of the field, but nice catch and run there for Nick Shire again. And the Broncos moving the ball through the air here. Plenty of time in the clock. They'll move it down again to a first down, and it looks to be at about the 25-yard line, 26-yard line here are the Valley Huskers.
Yeah, they're moving the ball right now, and Valley is inserting a few different guys and getting some fresh bodies in there. But I see the little pick. They're looking for the 5-yard pass, and again, lots of time before halftime, 2 minutes and 3 seconds with the clock stopped at this moment.
Clock running now as Henkel comes in over center following that first down catch and run. Henkel trying to get organized with his running back in the backfield, and they will hand it off there. A little bit of room, making a little bit of more room for himself is Andrew Pockernick, who is finding himself more involved in the offense as the game goes on. Pockernick will have about 7, maybe 8 yards and a good first down play.
Very nice running behind his blockers. He just followed them nice and low. He just you can hardly find him in the crowd, and then he comes up with like you say, 7 yard or so a gain. So
Out of a minute and a half here, clock running, and the Broncos knocking on the door here, trying to take a lead into halftime. Henkel getting things organized. 3 receivers to his left, and again, just Pockernick in the backfield. And it will be passing Henkel. Little reception, nice catch and run play. Not much on it there, but enough for Tice Duneveld.
Oh, big fight. Yeah. What's going on? You don't never do that in a football game.
The two teams trying to separate everybody now, and they do a good job of it. And for the Broncos, I'm just trying to get a number here. It's lineman here is really fired up. I think that is Tristan Murray. And we're going to see likely ejections here as Murray goes to the Broncos bench. Didn't see who he was involved with on the Valley side, but all that does is take a catch from Tice Duneveld out of the spotlight for a second. And Tice Duneveld is a guy here that will make his first reception of the season.
Yeah, very unusual. We saw nothing. I mean, of course, we're a ways away, but that would initiate any kind of crazy fighting, so to speak, or pulling of each other's masks. But this is a major item for this game for sure.
Young guys get fired up pretty easily here, of course, junior football, and likely, I mean, do the officials have any other option but to throw them out here? Could they stay in the game here? Do you see any way that they would?
I don't think from what we see there, I would think that it would be ejections on both sides. But again,
all the officials are gathering here now to discuss it. It would have been a first down for Duneveld. The Flying Dutchman, can we call him that? Can we give him that nickname yet? About an 8-yard grab there?
I think we could, yes.
All right. Well, we'll see. Likely going to be offsetting penalties unless there was, see what the officials decide to do there. Actually, I think they're going to measure this here. It looks enough to be a first down from our vantage point, pending the penalties, of course, from where the spot is. And the spot is at about the 16-yard line or so. And that would be very close to a first down. They will take a measure here, pending these flags, of course, here, but likely, usually in the case, Brian, it's an offsetting major foul and ejection perhaps, and you just continue here on the drive.
I would agree there, but again, I don't think I've ever been in a game where the guys started fighting, so to speak, and they weren't punching each other, I guess, but they were wrestling at least. I don't know. We'll have to see what the officials.
The catch was just shy of the first down. It'll bring up third and maybe the length of a football here.
I think so, yes.
Still haven't heard word on the penalties here, but flags were all over the field. And we only can identify the Bronco on the play, which was Tristan Murray. We see him on the bench getting calmed down by one of the guys was Tevin McCarty, who is back for a second year. The Edmonton native. Have yet to call his name in the broadcast here, but a leader on defense wearing number 92. Tevin McCarty with the shaved head and the bandana, and I think, well, look at this.
He's going back in?
Yeah. Okay, so.
Was it just the other player? No, he's telling him he can't come in. He's saying I say Tristan Murray go there.
Yeah, now the.
He says, this is the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get the penalties here.
Oh, there it goes. I wondered why he was going to go back out.
It's the full zebra escort here to the sidelines.
So he's ejected, I'm sure.
Well, trying to see on the Valley side who was involved in likely some sort of ejections now as head coach Brad Yamoka gets an explanation from Jeff Hewitt down there in the white hat here tonight. And the escort now for Tristan Murray will be to the Broncos locker room. And Murray's game here is over with a minute 15 to go in this first half.
Yeah, and I don't see a Chilliwack player going off, but they have to make the long walk, and so this adds on minutes. And
well, we'll see. Maybe you think if he's the only one going, then it would have been a 15-yard penalty against the Broncos, but that wasn't the case. We don't see any of that here.
No, I agree. Yes, that's a concern.
All right, well, it will be a third down play here, about the length of a football from the 26-yard line.
They look like they have way more than 12 people out there. Holy crowley.
They're just trying to get their...
There must be...
well, you can see Brody Bernier. It's almost like he had a microphone in his helmet there. He started counting up the players right away in the huddle to make sure they had enough. And we see Riley McLean now running off the field for the Broncos.
Now they need this coverage.
They're kicking a field goal
yes.
here.
Yeah, it's third down there.
I'm surprised that they're kicking this field goal with the length of a football to go here.
No, it's 10 yards to go.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. All right. Okay, that was after the penalty. They
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now. So that marched it back. So it is 3rd and 10. I apologize here as we check the sticks.
But 29 here has got a spring. Give him to cut off the returner if he decides, if it's wide, of course.
Into the breeze, 28-yarder. It is up. It has the distance, and it is good. Nice kick, Couture. Into the breeze, a 28-yarder, which operates at like a 40-yarder with this breeze. And Broncos are the first team to score into the breeze here tonight, Brian, and now take a 10-8 lead.
Well, it went over the goalpost and it went vertically down, I think.
It was just there. In fact, the official had to get out of the way, kind of turn his back, and let the football fall just in behind him there.
Yeah, it was a comical-looking play, but again.
That's a real positive drive for the Broncos. They eat up a lot of clock, and they are able to put points on the board into the wind and take the lead here late in this first half.
I think they'd have to be happy about that right now, but there's still a minute 12, and again, it's that last 3 minutes. Here we are. It'll be, wow.
The sun could set from now in a minute 12 in the second half here. And
yeah.
see if Valley can respond here or what they elect to do. Of course, they could be it conservative and keep it on the ground, but I think you have some time. You have to win. Let's see if you can move the ball here on a couple of plays. Faulkner will operate out of the shotgun. He will hand it off here to, again, his favorite target, which has been Vicklin here tonight. And Keegan Vicklin nowhere to go. He's wrapped up immediately. Jesse Zajeros, one of the players there to make the tackle.
That was a great tackle. He burst in there, and he wouldn't let him go. It was a very good job. But, again, I'm kind of, wondering. But now, of course, it's passing down. But on first down, I would even think it would have been a...
Well, the one thing the Valley has in their favor is Danny Harris, who we've seen him punt the ball here with the breeze quite effectively here. So if the Broncos can hold, they're still looking at a deep punt return attempt. But let's not put the cart before the horse here just yet. Let's see if Faulkner will operate here from the right hash.
Well, they're sending the safety deep, and they have to, the Broncos.
Faulkner will throw, and it is behind the intended target, which was... number 21 on the play, Grayson Marquardt, and it will be a third down scenario, and the Broncos will be getting the ball back here with about 30-some seconds remaining, 37 on the clock pending the punt. That's a great job of the Broncos here to keep momentum in their favor.
Wow, was that ever. They did a great job under the circumstances, and circumstances, of course, having one player ejected. So now they're in a... They look a little bit better there, I think, in my mind, anyway, where you place them. I think I'd put another guy back there for sure. Have at least 3, maybe 4 back. And
punt is a high snap, and now trying to run it out is Harris. Harris will get the corner here, trying to cut it up the right side. He's running a bounce. He will be short of that first down marker, though. A high snap that chased Harris back to handle it, and he had really no option and made something out of nothing. Almost got the first down around that right side, running to the running to the sidelines, Brian, but looks like it's a few yards short. And with 33 seconds to go, and the Broncos will take over here late.
Definitely, I agree to that he had to run it, I think, because it was an off snap, and he gave it his all, but didn't quite do it. But again, they have to gain about 30 yards, or not maybe 30, 20 yards.
Well, we saw a 28-yarder, so if that's all the distance, you got to move to the 21-yard line here late. And Faulkner will pass. He'll throw it to the left side. It's out of the reach of the intended target. Off the fingertips, but unable to bring it in was Trent Price out of the backfield to that left flat.
I thought a very good defensive play, even though it was incomplete, first of all, but my number 1 from Chilliwack did a great job just following the ball the whole way of the play.
Wind is as strong as it's been here so far in tonight's game as we check our flags to our broadcast left. And it will be 2nd and 10 here for the Broncos on the Valley Huskers 41-yard line. Again, it is Henkel back to pass. Lots of time. He'll throw it over the middle. Caught out, dropped. Brody Bernier unable to bring in that one as it turned him around a little bit, but it'll bring up 3rd down.
But it stops that clock again. I think that's 24 seconds, a long ways to go, but still, you never know with a long pass.
Why not just go for it here? I mean,
yes, I would.
The Broncos, they bring out the punting unit to punt from the 41-yard line. You have 24 seconds on the clock. I guess it's a conservative approach, but we've seen the punts here tonight not travel very far, although I thought that Couture had a good punt into the wind in his last attempt.
Well, they're doing something smart here. They got an onside runner with him, and so he could just aim that. He's got to get his wheels down there. He's got to get his wheels down. He might pick it up.
Good punt into the corner. It'll bounce, and
He's got it.
He's got it. A flag comes down. Flag comes down, but I think the referee there doesn't know that was an onside kick, and the Broncos will say, hey, we had our player onside for that return, and we'll see if they do get this one. What a coup this would be for the Broncos.
They have
Look at this.
Ball.
They have yet to signal it.
No, he did signal
it.
They did
signal it now, right? They'll say no flag on the play, and that's inside the 10. There's the official announcement, no flag on the play, and you called it right from the back punter there, Couture, trying to see who was onside there for that play. Garrett Krzyzanowski. Garrett Krzyzanowski was the one onside there.
Oh, good.
All right, and Krzyzanowski is able to recover that, and that was textbook. You couldn't have had a better onside punt in a pro level than that was just there. Wow.
I agree. It was well done. I don't know if they practice it very much, but
they better not practice it, because you know what? It just went as good as you could hope for, and it gives the Broncos 1st and goal from the 8 with 14 seconds left. So probably time here for 3 plays, 2 for sure. And we'll see if the Broncos can take advantage of this onside recovery from Krzyzanowski. Henkel will roll to his left. He will look now to the end zone over the middle. And we got a flag on the play. It's incomplete anyways. Maybe a bit of a push-off there from the intended target, Tim Salipa. We'll see what the call is.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's more against the...
Off Salipa, the Winnipeg native, and Salipa found himself in behind defensive coverage, but maybe a little bit of aided help. Are they going to pick up the flag?
Yes. They gave the penalty to Chilliwack.
Wow. Half the distance.
Yes.
You're right here. I'm a little surprised by that.
So was I.
It did eat up 6 seconds on the clock here. And maybe it's a long ways from our broadcast location here, so it could have been some in-tight holding there that we couldn't see. And it will bring up 1st and goal. They'll move it to the 4-yard line here. Yes, 1st and goal, 8 seconds to play.
He's under center. It seems like he's just going to take a sneak himself. But
timeout, I believe, on the field now.
Chilliwack.
Henkel hasn't gone in under center very often here tonight. And now you have to start to make sure you know exactly where the clock is at with 8 seconds. If you catch a pass, a play that takes a long time developing, you got to get down. If you can't get to the end zone, at least allow your kicker a chance to try the field goal.
And defensively, you want to grab them.
Hold them up?
And hold them up and just give them a few centimeters at a time and wait to the 8 seconds goes. So it's a ploy that or a technique that you have to have covered in your practice plan for sure.
All right, so we have the offensive coordinator, Jesse Neufeld, signaling in the play here to Colby Henkel, who will operate 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, and a chance for some late points here for the Broncos. Crowd making some noise here, but it might be a good time to be a bit quiet here and let the offense do their work. And now we have a little delay here before we get the play underway, but it looks like we're ready for it now. Henkel.
A toss left. But
that's the call, and let's see. Well, it's a running play up the
there
middle room, and touchdown right up the gut. Yeah. It is Jacob Tubajan, a 4-yard scamper into the end zone, and Tubajan, we call maybe that was almost like a halfback dive type play.
Yeah, it was. It looked like that.
And a great job there for the Broncos, executing not only deep first and goal, but also on that onside punt. And they put up 6 here late in this quarter.
They, did how many points in terms of the clock time and the whole system in terms of how many minutes they've worked on, and they've scored just what 8 or maybe even 12 of the points in the last little bit here.
This is a chance here to put up 10 into the wind with the convert, but they're going for 2 here. So they'll elect to go for 2 here with Henkel under center. He will go back to pass. He'll pump now. He'll throw into the end zone, back corner, but way out of the reach of Salipa over there. So again, no convert on the touchdown, but the Broncos with a 16-8 point lead. And maybe time here for the kickoff, and that'll be about it.
Yeah, I think the convert, yes, I think the convert should have been kicked. Now they would have had a 9-point lead, 2 scores, and so that wasn't wise. They should have kicked. It's an easy little thing to do.
Well, maybe looking back to their last convert early in the game where they failed to get the kick, but. Yeah, you're right. If you want to play 1 possession, 2 possession football, then you would love the 9-point lead.
Yeah, but
so we'll see here.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if the Broncos can just ice it here, do they squib this kick up the middle? Really, with the wind, you're not going to get much of a kick, or into the wind, you're not going to get much of a kick.
They're way too deep anyhow. They should just squib it, and whoever gets it downs it. Doesn't even do anything with the ball, but.
All right, well, Couture will kick it off, and he will kick it semi-deep into the breeze. It'll bounce. Who wants it here?
The big guy.
It's fallen on, offensive lineman, usually offensive lineman, Michael Lengert. We get a chance to call his name on our broadcast, Michael Lengert, and it will be Valley with a chance to at least get a play underway because good job there by Lengert. He at least allows his offense here to maybe try a Hail Mary here and some sort of razzle-dazzle here to try to put some points up late.
Yeah, no, I thought I even saw him after he picked it up. He took a chomp out of that ball, it looked like. But anyhow,
that post-game meal is a long time from right now. So, all right, so they'll operate from the 31. Likely the last play of the half with the Broncos leading 16-8.
Sure, I think they have to do what they're doing here. They're going to throw just a Hail Mary.
Well, you get a flag of some sort. No, they'll hand it off.
Oh.
So, and nothing doing this time again. They've done a good job here on the running back, Keegan Vicklin, except for one rush deep into Broncos territory, but that'll do it for the first half. Vicklin is stopped, and the Broncos here, I would say, in good shape, scoring on their first possession and scoring on their last possession of the half. They'll have a 16-8 advantage as we get set for the third quarter.
Very good, yeah, and I look forward. I think obviously the score is close, so there's no reason why it shouldn't be a close game at the end, and everything looks, in terms of the officials and et cetera, everything else is a normal happening game, except that there's been the unusual thing about the wind, and so it goes.
All right, well, this is a broadcast of the BC Football Conference powered by RE/MAX. We'd like to thank RE/MAX for their involvement, their sponsorship across the BCFC this year, thanks to RE/MAX here. We will pause for the half where the Broncos have the lead, 16-8. John Keenan, Brian Olthius will be back after halftime. One. And welcome back, everybody. John Keane alongside Brian Olthius as we get set for the second half of this game. Here as two teams are out at center field trying to get organized here. But what we have is the Broncos' 8-point lead. They lead 16-8. Here as we get set for the second half kickoff.
Yeah, interesting first half. I think things could have been either team should have, I think, had opportunities when things were going right to score some. But I think it was an eight-point lead by the Broncos is probably justifiable as well. So
I think the play of that half was likely that onside kickoff that was recovered by Krzyzanowski late in the half. I should say onside punt that was recovered just inside the 10. It would lead to a big 6 points for the Broncos into the wind to give them the lead.
Yeah, that definitely was not a game breaker because the game isn't over yet, but a half. It surely gave them 8 points anyhow, I would think. So
the Broncos will kick off and have the wind in this third quarter, meaning Chilliwack with the longer fourth quarter will have the breeze coming home. But we were talking about this at halftime. The Broncos outscored Chilliwack with those 9 points in the second quarter and have the lead because of it.
Yeah, they doubled up on my thinking anyhow on that, or twisted that around, but I still think it's advantage the other way around. But here we go.
All right, and the kickoff, it's fielded, but it gets off the returner and into the end zone now. Trying to run it out is Vicklin. Vicklin will find a little bit of room here. Oh, shoestring tackle, a beautiful tackle just inside the 5-yard line. You said, I thought the same thing as Vicklin. Looked to turn the corner here after being in a whole lot of trouble.
I thought that was going to happen exactly. He took the ball deep, but now, I guess it was touched on the way in, so they have to take it at the 3.
All right. Yeah, he kicked it in there. Yeah, it was touched on the kickoff, and yeah, you're right. They had to bring it out because they would have been taking the single. And here we go, and that's the Broncos' great start. They have the Huskers pinned in deep inside their own 5-yard line here to start this second half.
On paper, it couldn't be better, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, true. It's true. All right, so Falconer will operate here out of the shotgun inside his own goal line. A handoff, and Vicklin's going to spin and turn over the 5-yard line, maybe around the 7. So he'll get a few yards here on first down.
Yeah, there was a good burst by Vicklin. I thought he looked a lot more peppy to me here, just seeing in that last run.
So it will be, give him about 4 on the play. And now the Broncos will look for a big stop here to start this second half with the 8-point lead and the clock running.
They really are overloaded here on the left.
Shotgun again for Falconer. He's operated that pretty much all game long. And he'll be passing to his left side looking for a man. He overthrew his receiver again. That was Vicklin. And now decision time for Chilliwack, and we're talking about the safety decision, or do you just try to punt it out and hope that your defense can hold?
Interesting point, because they're at the 8, and that's 1-score game. Now, do they give them the 2 to make it a 2-point so that they can kick off from the 20? I might say that, but I think they're going to kick. It looks like, but. This is an interesting call.
So we'll see if Harris elects to punt it out or not. Remember the last time he fielded a punt snap, he was forced to run it, and this time he will just concede the safety for 2. So Broncos will add to their lead, and now a 10-point lead. And what we talked about late in the first half, Brian, them electing to go for the 2-point convert. And not the 1-point convert. Now they get the safety, and they get a 10-point lead out of it.
Yeah, this is a big advantage to the Broncos, a big advantage. Now, will they take care of that? That's tough to say, but now it's going to be a kickoff from the
kick it off from the 35 here. Or are they scrimmaging this football here? Should be kicked off here.
No.
They'll kick it off from the 35.
From the 35, yeah.
Well, that's a big 2 points in this game as the Broncos scored in their very first possession of the game, and that was a Nice 21-yard touchdown reception from Tim Salipa, and then scored on the Jacob Tubajan 4-yard plunge late in that first half. So Harris, the kicker, will elect to kick it off from his right hash instead, maybe trying to use that wind to his advantage, or maybe disadvantage, but it is really howling right now at Hillside Stadium. Kick is up, and it's a pretty good kick into the wind. It'll drop at the 35-yard line. Fielded there, a little bit of room, still some room here, running up the field and powering to the 50-yard line of the Valley Huskers. And we got flags here late as well on the play. And I believe that was Tim Salipa handling the kickoff here, the receiver. All the way into Broncos, or I should say Valley territory, but there was a bit of a minor scrap going on behind the play, and we saw some flags go down.
Yeah, I missed that, but there was a little bit of a scuffle apparently, and I think it was Max Joseph. Max Joseph, though, was a returner, was he not?
Oh, it might have been Max Joseph. Sorry, I thought I saw 18 in there. But regardless, they both stay on the field here, both Salipa and Max Joseph. Both have been very busy in the offense and special teams so far, and marched the ball another 15 yards on that penalty after the unnecessary roughness at the end of the play.
Well, I was very impressed with his. As soon as he caught that ball, he didn't look too much. He burst through the holes. He did a very excellent job on the carry.
Play action. Henkel keeps. He'll roll to his right. Has a man, but well covered on the play was Bernier, I believe.
There's a flag again, though.
Well, that flag came down late. Bernier went to the referee and signaled to that back official to throw the flag. And sometimes officials don't like that here. But it was right down in the area. It was Bernier threw the – maybe he either got the official to throw the flag for the pass interference, or he's being called for that. But they're marching it back, or I should say forward here, I believe. So it is pass interference. So Bernier, if junior football doesn't work out, maybe a career in politics could be in order, because he just bought himself a pass interference call.
That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, it was very unusual. I didn't think it was pass interference in the first, but so be it. He did something to sell it to the ref.
All right, well, it will be first and 10 from the 20-yard line, and the Broncos trying to make this bigger than a 10-point lead. They lead 18-8. Henkel will pass. They blow it down here late. So I think they had the wrong down marker down there. So showing second down. So officials blew it down before they could get that play underway. And it will be first and 10 for the 20. Broncos here are going to huddle up here again as play is whistled in. And Henkel has some options here. We've seen him spread the ball around pretty well so far tonight. And some running from Price and Tubajan as well. Henkel will roll to his right. He will look over the middle. Now throw to the deep corner of the end zone. Has a man, but with that breeze blowing, he overthrows everybody. Intended target was Thijs Duneveld, but it's over everybody.
If you didn't know that there was a big wind blowing, you'd say, wow, does that guy have a gun? It just took off. But it's that perfect angle, too.
I was going to say, that's pretty much the way, if you're watching on the webcast, that ball was thrown. That was pretty much in the exact direction of the wind here so far in the second half. So, wind road, if you want to call it that.
Hey, good.
And we will see the Broncos here on second and 10 already in field goal range early in this third quarter.
And I just want to say something about Derek Waldy. Maybe I didn't mention him earlier. Very experienced guy. He's been on this Bronco team for 3 to 4 years, and again, I just have to say that he's a dedicated old lineman and works hard.
Try to protect his quarterback here as Henkel throws to the right side. High pass, but caught short of the first down. Bernier went up and grabbed that ball, made the catch, but he's going to be about 5 yards short of the first down, and maybe it's a decision time here right now. Do you bring in your kicker, or do you go for it here on what'll be about 3rd and 5?
Good call. Yeah,
it's already a 10-point game, and look at this. The offense is staying on the field here.
They are.
For this 3rd and 5 play.
They are. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought maybe they would go for the field goal. However,
Henkel's trying to get everybody organized here as he sits in the shotgun formation. And now ball snapped. Henkel looks to his left, now to the middle. Under pressure, he'll take off. He has room. He could score here to the 5 and tackle at the 2-yard line. Henkel, quarterback keeper. Not sure if that was the design play or not, but he did a good job of spreading out the defense before taking off, and he's able to scamper for the first down inside the 5.
Oh, that was a big, big play. He's been impressing me all day, I think, in terms of being confident of what play's called. He doesn't dispute it with anybody or whatever. But he burst his way up there, made some nice little moves, and they're on about the 2, I do believe, or 1 or 2.
That caught the 2-yard line, first and goal, and maybe this is Tubajan territory here again. We'll wait and see, but standing in behind center is Tubajan here again. He already has a 4-yard touchdown score in this game, and the give is to Tubajan. He'll walk into the end zone untouched. Jacob Tubajan has his second major of this game, and the Broncos extend their lead now to 16, but we have late flags here at the end of the play. A little bit of words and celebration going on in the end zone, and the touchdown will come here with flags at the end of the play.
Yeah, 2, 3 big flags, and big, I mean that they were thrown high in the air, and I'm very curious to see who it is, if it's celebrations that are too high or if the defensive team took them. So I'm at a loss at this moment here. Big discussion going on. Looks like, no, I can't tell if they're talking to Chilliwack or to the Broncos.
Some scores from earlier right now going on in the BCFC right now. A final from earlier, a 4 o'clock kickoff actually at Vancouver Island, knocking off Langley 20-13, and right now West Shore is leading 14-0 as they play in the second quarter. Reminder, our broadcast here on BCFCTV.com is powered by Remax, and that run was powered by Jacob Tubajan. And now they will be kicking the convert here, the Broncos. So far, converts haven't been their friend, but they'll give it a shot here.
I would like to just say thank you to Remax as well, even though I just found out that they are being a title sponsor. That's very noble of them.
And are you selling your house this week here? Kick is up, and this time Couture makes the convert look easy. And that's a big score early, 25-8 now Broncos over the Huskers. Remember, though, Valley maybe just trying to limit the damage here. They'll have the wind here coming home if they want to chip into this lead.
Yeah, right now, of course, they are just not only the scoreboard, but, I mean, they have to feel a little bit down. A couple of things happening, the unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever it was at the end of the play that we just saw. But yes, I would think that they have to regather and say, let's start this thing all over again. And hey, we did it in the first half. Why can't we do it now?
So we get set to go here. And the Broncos in a good position. They've been able to really limit the Valley's attack on offense, and Noah Faulkner's just look a little bit out of rhythm with his receivers here. A couple of passes have been overthrown, or receiver not yet looking back for the ball, and it's resulted in just the one offensive touchdown so far in this game. So it's going to be handled by Vicklin at his own 25, looks for a move, and he gets around 1, now 2, before he's surrounded here just over the 30-yard line, and that's where the Valley Huskers will take over here on offense.
I was just going to comment, too, just about the teams. And over the past years, I honestly think they were quite a bit bigger. Now, I think it's a little quicker game, to tell you the truth. And also, I don't see as many, can I say 280 upwards in terms of too many linemen. There are some on some teams, I know, but I just don't see the big guys too much anymore, but maybe it's just
well, the Broncos have already lost one of their big guys, Tristan Murray, in this game, ejected earlier. So handoff now, Vicklin looking to cut it up the middle, and he's able to break one. Now up the left side, scampering all the way near the 50-yard line. Fumble on the play, I believe. A flag comes in at the Broncos sidelines in front of their bench, and I'm not sure if Coach had something to say or what was the deal, but there was a fumble on the play after a big run by Vicklin.
Yes, no, I was very interested too in seeing what was the call there. It was he was all by himself.
It's the line judge that made the call as well. So
I just had a notion to another official beside me saying it was
unnecessary
rough play.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So
unnecessary roughness. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, rough play. So that will negate that big run. Well, it'll move it back to the 33 anyway. So where the foul happened and march it back. So. Well, Vicklin, that's his best run of the game. He was able to get into that second level and bring it up that left side right in front of his own bench. And that play, though, negated because of the unnecessary roughness.
Definitely. It's just a silly play. I did not see it, but.
So it's going to be first down for the Huskers here with 10 minutes to go. Clock running in the third quarter. 25-8, the Broncos lead. Faulkner again in the shotgun, one in his backfield. He will look over the middle, and again, that pass just not connecting, and the Broncos have been much more efficient in this game passing, as that was Grayson Marquardt, the intended target. Throw was low, a little bit out of his reach, and it will bring up second down.
I agree totally there with that synopsis. That they've been trying that play and it just hasn't been effective. So I don't know. You want to try it again, I guess, at times, but sometimes you have to move on. It's just that 2 little yard dump pass, and then it's supposed to find a hole. But
I'm just surprised that Valley hasn't really aired it out yet here tonight. But into the wind right now as we speak.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. And a full receiver set here. Over the middle, it is overthrown. Intended target was Vicklin. He was hammered on the play. I think that was, it was the linebacker on the play. Sure, the defensive lineman, Tevin McCarty, making his presence known as he hit Vicklin a little bit late. And everyone kind of looks for a flag to see if there was anything coming, but nothing does come. And it's going to be a punt situation.
That's what I was sort of looking for, and I could not see that in the least either. But now again, we come to that kicking game with that. Again, the wind has just picked up, or
pretty steady here throughout.
Very.
As sun begins to set over Hillside Stadium, as we approach 8 o'clock now, as 6 o'clock kickoff here this evening. Harris in a punt formation. He will get a good snap this time, and he will punt a tumbling punt that'll go out of bounds just on the Broncos side of center field, and they will take over. The Broncos will at about the 54-yard line with a good situation here with the ball, with the wind, and with a 17-point lead here to perhaps really put the pedal to the metal here on the Huskers.
It could be the spot. You're right. Just looking at the punt itself, that was probably one of the longest punts. It was about 25 yards or so at max. But in terms of just because of the wind being what it's being, what's happened out here, and now the ball's rolling around, but that happened to be, I think, one of the longest punts into the wind tonight.
So from the 54, the Broncos will go to work here, trying to start their season 1-0. Against the Valley Huskers, the only 2 wins the Broncos had last season over Valley. We mentioned that, including one late in the year in this ballpark, 38-33. And now they're going to get things organized here.
But I don't know what there's a man on the field.
I have someone injured, yeah. Sorry, right across the sidelines from us, right in front of the Valley bench, and down on the play was Desmond Jeanson, but he looks to be okay. We had quite the unique situation at the end of half. Just as we signed off, Brian, we had defensive back Michael Berg propose to his girlfriend in front of the whole team on the field, and we can safely report that she said yes. So congratulations to Michael and his fiance.
Good. Yeah, that's a nice touch. I didn't know what the big huddle was for.
That one off the fingertips of the intended target, which was Tice Duneveld, and it was almost intercepted as Duneveld couldn't corral it, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10. So we've had a proposal, and we've had the Broncos out here with a 17-point lead, and we still have lots of time remaining here in this one, as the Broncos now look 2nd and 10.
I was just going to comment, too, about the, I don't know if there was tickets So the clock should be.
And we got second and 10 now, 54-yard line. And the Broncos here in a passing situation. It's been a good evening so far for Henkel. He'll go back to pass again. Now he's going to take off. He ran for a first down earlier on the last play like this, and he'll be short this time, right into the right sidelines. He is out about 2 to 3 yards short. Maybe another decision time here. What do you do here, Coach? You have second or third and about 3 maybe, and you have the wind at your back.
I think pin it, aim for the 10. Don't aim for the goal. You don't want to give up that single, but whoever's ever going to kick that ball, aim right at that 10-yard marker, and I think that's, to me, that would be the play of the.
Bryce Couture will be he's tried it a couple times already, and just maybe been off the mark a little bit.
But just blast it. You don't want to sort of aim it or pooch kick it so much. You want to hammer the ball, but it looks like he's kicking straight ahead.
All right, and he'll do so from his right hash. Good snap. He will field it, and he will attempt to angle it out of bounds again.
He's doing too much of that.
And it's way out of bounds again, yeah.
So he barely gains. They gave us them 10, 20, a 26-yarder or so.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess you do take the return game out of it, and Valley needs a spark offensively, and if that comes special teams, they'll take anything they get. So it's taken the return game out of it, but it will be, the Valley Huskers 1st and 10 from just inside, I'll call it the 27-yard line. Good crowd here tonight, Hillside Stadium. We've been told that the attendance tonight, 710 folks in the crowd tonight, so a good home opener here for the Broncos here to kick off their season.
Oh, for sure. We're a little bit behind Kelowna probably each year, but I would think we might be a strong number 2 team here in terms of attendance.
Filling up Hillside Stadium pretty well here tonight. Now running back up the middle, and again it's Vicklin, and he was hit pretty hard on the play. And just trying to get a number on that one. Nice defensive play. I think it was Logan Fields in there. You've mentioned Logan Fields a couple times tonight. I think he was hitting him on that tackle, limiting the gain to just 1.
Yeah, no, he had a good little burst through there. It was a good little seam. He only got to 1 or 2 yards or so, but I thought he ran the ball quite well. At least he had a lot of energy behind his movements.
So Vicklin is the lone one in the backfield here. Falconer in a passing situation. Again, 2nd and long. In motion, and they timed it up there correctly. Incomplete pass. But then there on the blitz was coming was Landon Wilkinson. I thought maybe he had come across the line before the ball was snapped, but Wilkinson put pressure on Falconer, forcing another incompletion.
I was looking for the flag because I saw that too. I thought, he broke it before, but the officials are right there, so they got to depend on them.
So the Broncos here are exactly what they wanted, forcing Valley into a punting situation here on 3rd and 9.
And now I like where the
they must have heard the broadcast. They have the what we're talking about is the 2 punt returners have really come in close. They're both standing on the Valley side of center, and it's going to be fielded on a hop. Well done there. On the right side, Joseph looking for room, still on his feet, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. But, I guess it took a while here to sort out the special teams, Brian, but you're liking what the Broncos are doing
Finally. That was a net gain, as you can see. For Chilliwack, they only gained 8 yards.
Yeah, Yeah, and it wasn't much at all. That was a great return by Max Josephs. Had a pretty strong game. We've called his name a couple of times so far in our webcast here tonight.
No, he ran very well. He got that ball and had no decisions. I mean, he just burned out of there. So, that's what they need.
25-8, Broncos lead. Clock running now, under 7 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Henkel, shotgun. He will drop back to pass, looking to his left. He'll throw there. Caught by Bernier. He'll fight forward. Rugby scrum in there, pushing the pile. Maybe a yard or 2 short of the first down, but Bernier showing good hands in tight, and he was pushed forward here, maybe a yard shy.
Yeah, Bernier has been, I think, the main target.
Oh, we got two Chilliwack players now actually getting at it with each other there.
Oh, brother.
A second ago, and now trying to play peacemaker in that mix for Valley is Travis Dietrich. And interesting scenario there. He had two guys on the defensive side getting at it a little bit. Now the handoff to Tubajon right up the middle. Good burst there for the first down, right to the center of the field. And crossing the 20-yard line, and the Broncos are on the move.
Colby Henkel does that very well, the sort of the, am I going to give him the ball or not, and the decision-making. He pulls it back sometimes on his own, and doing the mesh with his running back is done very well.
So the Valley Huskers showing signs of breaking here defensively. You have the Broncos knocking on the door already with a 17-point lead, and now inside the red zone. Handoff, no, pulls it back, and a throw over to the left sidelines. Incomplete. Intended target on the play was Tim Salipa, who's been a favorite target. Salipa incomplete, 2nd and 10.
A nice coverage by, and now he's taking a knee, number 15.
For the Valley Huskers side, that's Keyshawn Joseph. I'm not sure, is he hurt? Yeah, they're going to.
He walked and then he went down. I thought he had good coverage on the play, but anyways, he's.
So Joseph will stop the clock here with him going down. Looks like he's favoring his arm. He was in that little kind of a hand fight with Salipa on that first down play. And now Joseph will be looked at here with 5:18 to go in this third quarter, and the Broncos up 25-8. And now decision time here on if the Broncos can keep this drive going, they could really put the screws to Valley. We mentioned already showing some signs of breaking here a little bit, and some infighting going on in this last drive.
I noticed that as well, and that's not. And even this injury timeout, it seems something there else is happening on that field. I didn't think he was. He could have walked off. I know you're supposed to wait for the trainer, but I think we could have been. The continuous play of the game would have been quicker. We could have decided this quicker to get the guy off the field.
So I think we're ready now here as Joseph goes off the field, and we get set here for 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 here, Henkel. And he will look to pass on the right side, screens it off. Joseph makes one miss on the right side, trying to fight for that first down, and more leaps a tackle, still on his feet, and he's down to the 2-yard line, and a late flag comes in too.
Another flag.
Joseph with the leap this time, and we might have another injured player here on the Valley Husker side.
Had to be one of the niftiest runs we've seen today. It was a twist, a leap, as you say. It was a nice hurdle. A little bit like Ronaldo, and very, very, very coordinated run, I think. And look, they're about inside the 5.
They're probably at the 2-yard line, but just hold the phone. There's a flag down, and the officials are talking it over. So a flag in behind the play, and I'm thinking is this going against the Broncos for perhaps a block? In behind the play during the run? Yeah, they're marching it back here anyways. So the Broncos here penalized on that last run. Negates a pretty good run by Joseph.
Yes.
Who took off and made some people miss it. Remember, that was just a screen pass that he just cut and made something out of nothing. And that's a big penalty here, marching the Broncos all the way back now beyond about the 24-yard line.
Well, there's a big conference. I mean, this conference is going on long, deep in away from the ball yet. I don't know what. Obviously, the officials are trying to figure something out, but this should be done quicker, way quicker. This is.
Well, the officials now they've already marched back the Broncos in the yardage here. Let's see here. They're probably just trying to sort out what the scenario is where the ball should be spotted, if it was at the end of the play or during the run. So just wait. Now they're switching their.
Sorry.
And now we are, look at this. I'm not sure what's going on, but they've decided the penalty now it's against the Valley Huskers, I believe.
There's no penalty.
No penalty on the play.
Yeah.
So I guess the flag just blew out of the pocket, which we could see with this breeze here today. But they were already marching the yards back. Perhaps they conferenced and said it was not a penalty, so it sets up first and goal, and the Broncos with a great chance to add to what is a 17-point lead.
They're on the one, are they? Yes, it looks
Give
like.
the spot out the one. Look at the goalpost just moving in the breeze here, if you can see that at home on your webcast. And a whistle play in now as this Tubijan country already has 2 touchdowns from inside the 5-yard line. Henkel is in under center. Tubijan is behind him. And instead it's a little halfback dive toward the end zone. Is he in? Touchdown. Broncos on the board with 6 more. Little play there. I think it was Price that took that little inside handoff. And Trent Price is going to make this now a 31-8 Broncos lead. So there was a penalty on the play, but that penalty is declined, and the Broncos put up 6 more now with a 31-8 lead with this convert pending. Nice. I think everybody thought it was going to Tubijan in the backfield, already 2 in this game, but Price with that little dive play there, a quick handoff, and now a convert attempt from Couture to make it 32, and Couture is good from there. So the Broncos have opened up a good lead now with the win with 4.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure they are feeling very good about the outcome so far. The score right at this moment, the Broncos, that is. But again, it's the flow of the game has not been smooth. And, again, do I say it's not CIS? I know.
It's a lot of these teams, though, Brian, they're trying to sort things out. And we see this early, I think, in seasons where, even for officials as well, trying to figure out the play and try to figure out, some of the penalties and the flow of the game, getting that going. And we've seen a lot of problems on special teams here for both these teams as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think you're saying what I should be saying at times.
We mentioned the scores from out of town. West Shore leading Okanagan Sun 14-0. That was early in the second quarter. And earlier today, the VI Raiders knocked off Langley to begin the season, 20-13. So I hope you're enjoying the webcast now as ball is kicked off inside the 5-yard line. Handled there, up the left side. Little bit of room now into the pile. And just before the 30-yard line is where Valley Huskers will start an offense. And they have to move the ball here. Now trailing this game by, if we do the math here, 26 points. Make that 24-point lead for the Broncos here, 4:25 to go in the third.
Yeah, that was a good run back. He took the ball. He didn't, and he knew he had to get some yards. He had to get his feet moving right away, and he burst downfield. So that was, to me, that was one of the better plays that I've seen them, especially on special teams. It was a good run back and pretty good blocking as well.
Lights will soon be coming on here at Hillside Stadium, you think, with the shadows now pretty much over the field as the Valley Huskers will begin on first down from their own 29. It's a handoff, fumble, ball loose. I see McCarty is there, and the initiation and the signal now is coming. Broncos football, they continue to pour it on. That time on the handoff, a slippery ball for Eddie Perrin to handle, and Eddie coughed it up, and the Broncos will go right back to work as Tevin McCarty has the recovery.
Yeah, bad exchange between the quarterback and the running back, and it's why I couldn't tell from up here, but again, something that shouldn't happen at this time of, this time of the season. And I know it's just the first game, but what I mean is that gets covered in your preseason practices, etc. So that really hurts.
It sure does, as the Broncos will continue with the ball, with the win, and with a sizable lead here as Henkel again will operate here in the shotgun from the 25-yard line. He'll hand it off up the middle. Price powering forward, has a few, maybe halfway to that first down as the Broncos here slowing things down a little bit here, keeping it on the ground.
Yeah, they're they're again controlling the ball, and they want the clock to run. I'm not talking about the Broncos now, and so now, of course, though it's passing down, so I'm sure they'll do it a little, look for the little flare out, those type of passes. So we'll see what happens here.
On the right hash, it'll be 2nd and about 7, call it 8, and Henkel will go back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket now. He's flushed. He'll throw into the end zone, wide open. Touchdown. Flag down, though. Caught on the play by Tim Salipa. If it stands, it'll be his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. But we'll see what the flag is for here first, Brian.
Yeah, I'm confused, too. I couldn't see what he would...
Sounds we're getting the word up here that it was offensive pass interference. So hold the phone on Salipa's 23-yard touchdown, and instead it'll march the Broncos back 10. So Salipa, there was a reason, Brian, why he was standing alone in the end zone, and the officials spotted that. And it'll bring up, 2nd and about 17 here now.
Yeah, I can see the receiver talking to the official and saying, trying to figure out what did I do wrong or whatever. And
so a little bit of further distance to cover now for the Broncos, who have now moved in control of this game over Valley. But this penalty looks like it was a 15-yarder here. They moved it all the way back to the 38-yard line here. So 15-yarder on the play. Maybe there was something else on top of that. But so it's a lot of yards to go here. And of course, we've seen the leg of the kicker Couture already from the Broncos side. They'll have the win with them if the Broncos can't convert. And it's going to be a Henkel quarterback keeper, but that looked like a broken play from the get-go. That wasn't the intended play here, and you could see some confusion going on. Brody Bernier yelling to the sidelines. And it'll be 3rd and a lot of real estate there.
yes, it was confused from the get-go, really. I didn't know where... I was kind of confused when we were sending other players in, but I couldn't figure out at all if that was going to be a run or they were going to.
If they would have, they're going to punt now, but it would have been a 45-yarder, call it 46, but instead it's going to be Couture to punt here. And we've seen that Breeze play havoc with this ball. And this one, again, is another tough punt that'll bounce again out of bounds, though. And that'll be bouncing at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Huskers will take over on offense.
I think, again, I go back to the punter. He's got to just do the flow of a normal punt. But he's trying to aim. He's 1 step, 2 step. No, just let it flow. Just go and boom the ball. And, I mean, they must have done that in practice, but anyhow.
It has taken away the return game. There is one bright side, but it's going to be the Broncos here on the 20-yard line. Sorry, Valley on the 20-yard line here, but we'll let them get organized on the field, see what they do, in fact, spot the ball. One of penalty against the Broncos being announced here on the return or lack of return. And it will be Valley here trying to get the ball moving here. Minute 47 to go here in the third quarter. Of course, they will have the wind coming home. If it sticks up like it is now, it is a sizable advantage. Broncos the only team to score into the win so far here in this game. With a 32-8 lead, it will be Falconer trying to make the connection here. He will hand it off this time up the left side. Not a lot of room for Vicklin. He's tackled, and again, it's Tevin McCarty celebrating like he got a hand or a foot in there to make the tackle, and it will be 2nd and long.
Yeah, it's lost its fire in the game right at this moment, but again, they just have to find both teams, in fact. Hey, play your hardest, and especially guys who are in backup positions maybe, that they want to show the coaches that they can get in there and do what they have to do. But right now it's a sort of it hasn't moved in 20 yards either way, I don't think, in this whole second half.
All right, well, second and long. Pressure comes. Look out, right through, unblocked for the sack. It is Landon Wilkinson. He's having quite the game. This time the blitz got him. Wilkinson gets to the quarterback, and Falconer can only duck and cover. Third down upcoming.
When he comes, he comes. He flew in there. Wow.
Broncos in good shape here again, forcing another 2-and-out on this Valley offense that looks a little rickety here. They're unable to really sustain any drives. And now into a punting situation here. This second half has been played on the side of the Valley Huskers inside the 55 the entire time here. And now another punting situation. We'll see if Danny Harris can get his leg into one here. What'll be the final play of this third quarter. Snap's a good one. And it's a punt that'll angle out to the left side and out of bounds here. And, well, the punts have not been too strong today, but that one was blasted way over the Huskers bench, and the net is going to be 7 yards. 7 yards on the punt.
Yeah, no, that's not good, but just something on the Broncos. There's a little break, of course, here now.
End of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter. And I'd just like to say something about the Jan Anton's vice president and GM. He's an excellent Kamloops ambassador and has done many, many things, helps in many different areas, capacities for the city of Kamloops. So I want to say thank you to Jan and what he's done for this community. Also, Dino Bernardo, if I could. I call him the owner. He doesn't like that, but the owner, birth father, I've said, and community supporter. Great people that make this the junior have brought the junior football team to the city, etc. So
sure, yeah, for sure. And you mentioned Jan. He said before the game, if you've been following along the BC wildfires, the town of Clinton is being evacuated. Jan's been helping out at the evacuation center at the Sandman Center and said I wasn't sure if he was going to be here all game because he told me that 1,500 evacuees were coming to downtown Kamloops. And the town of Clinton, of course, our thoughts are with the families affected by the wildfires and the brave work the firefighters are doing here in the last few weeks as well. It's been quite the dangerous situation. As we get back to Broncos football, after the two teams change sides, Henkel looking to the end zone, has a man, Bernier, touchdown! Brody Bernier out jumps Desmond Jeanson, and it's all Broncos now here. They're going to go up by 30 points here in the first play of the fourth quarter.
Well, they have to be happy with themselves, sure. They've had, from the offensive coordinators to the GMs, et cetera, that I just mentioned, and about the players that are playing side by side so that they all have to feel good about this. And I guess talking about the other team, of course, they have to be a little disappointed, and there's not going to be a nice ride home, I'm sure. But
well, the convert attempt here will come from Couture. And this one, flags fly as it goes through. And line judge making that call, so maybe someone wasn't lined up correctly, perhaps offside. And we'll see if the convert stands or not. And I think it was against Valley, so the Broncos will come off the field here. Tack up another one, and it's going to be 39-8 now. It's all Broncos. I don't think anyone expected the Broncos to run away with this game, but first week of the BCFC season, Brian, some teams just maybe not, on all cylinders to start the year.
Yeah, I thought honestly, too, that from looking through the personnel and et cetera of Valley, that, they'd be a little stronger. But again, did they not have a good bus trip? I don't know what happened, but something has fallen apart, especially in the second half here. There's no question about that. And
so it's all Broncos now, and of course they're playing into the wind, so it's another touchdown into the wind. You can't take away the throw that Henkel made to Bernier into the wind there. Yeah. And that set up the Bernier touchdown. So the kickoff here by Couture. Decent kickoff. It's going to bounce at the 25. That's a live football picked up by Jeanson. He's surrounded by blue Bronco jerseys, and he's going to be hauled down before he can reach the 30-yard line here. Now you have to start to think about the rough stuff and start to think about, the extra stuff we could see here between the two teams. Still a lot of football to be played in what is a 31-point deficit.
I just see there was a little bit of a scuffle between two players, and I was very impressed. I didn't catch his number, but one of the Chilliwack players, a more diminutive one, not a very tall guy is what I'm trying to say. And hey, let's break it up. And he went in there and pulled the two guys apart. So there's still some good things happening here.
So it's still Falconer in it under center. You wonder at some point here, I know it's early in the season, you want to get your starters as many reps as possible here, but opportunity perhaps to maybe get some other players into the game here tonight. As Noah Falconer again, he'll pass, has a man that time, but unable to corral it was DeAndre O'Connor. He was a target in the first half. That's the first chance he's had to make a play here in the second.
It's catchable, but a little bit low, but something you would say, hey, we need those from you. And again, I would say the same thing. I hope the Broncos are getting in their seconds, so to speak, or whatever, their backups to get everybody to get a little taste of the game.
So the Broncos in control with touchdowns in this half from Tubajan and now as well Brody Bernier in that last reception. It is 2nd and 10, and Falconer passing. It's off fingertips, falls incomplete, but a late flag comes in. I think Falconer took a late shot, perhaps, judging by him being down, and walking away from the pile, Parker Matheson. Sorry, not Parker Matheson. I think it's Andrew Berg, who might have had a late shot in there on the quarterback.
Yeah, I missed something there, and I see now the Bronco coaches are out there.
He was basically untouched as he came in from his defensive back position, and they're marching it up 15 yards. So we're just going to assume that it was a roughing the passer type call, and that's exactly what it is. So that'll extend the drive here for Valley as we play early in this fourth quarter. All Broncos here in front of over 700 fans at Hillside Stadium to kick off the BCFC season. As the lights now on across the stadium for the remainder of this one. Falconer in at the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right. Only Vicklin in the backfield. Let's see what Falconer has up here. He will give to Vicklin up the middle. A good collision in there. It's Jesse Zajeros getting into the backfield, and he really gave Vicklin a pretty good shot in there. We got injured players now out of this pile.
Well, he's got the ball too, I think, but maybe he was down on the ground already. But and the attendant, the trainer, came out very quickly.
Yeah, both players were down there. It looked to me like Michael Lingard was down and injured, but he gets up out of the pack there for what is 2nd and 10 after the Vicklin run. 3 in the eye now as both backs split out, and Falconer will handle 2nd and 10. Pass over the middle, off fingertips, and incomplete. Good defensive play made by the Broncos' Kieran Muir. First time we've called the veteran's number Muir, but again, another catchable ball right into the fingertips. And unable to bring that one in for Valley was R.J. Begg. I beg you to make a catch today.
I got that one. It was a great throw. I thought it was
a great pass right there.
And he's had too many drops for a quarterback. And yes,
especially for a quarterback that throws the ball. And the amount of passing plays the Valley will run here, you need those completions right there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10, and the Broncos set to receive this punt from Harris.
He cannot kick 60 yards.
Well, he does have the wind. We saw him launch one earlier. And now look out, under some pressure. He's going to take off, and it's going to be Harris cut off in the play. Tackle, nice defensive play on special teams.
Great play,
and that was Gabe Sakalovsky, who's usually a running back, but used in special teams. He could tell his teammates love the rookie's effort as Sakalovsky gets lots of congratulations for that big tackle there, turning the ball over on downs.
That was an excellent tackle. Yes, I would have to did it with 3 or 4 times. Very impressed with that.
So it will be the Broncos taking over on a turnover on downs, and they are sitting here at the 35-yard line, and they are in control, up 31, and still seeing Colby Henkel in this game. Running the offense. Henkel will hand off this time. Big burst of speed up the middle. Lots of room here running, and all the way down inside the 20. That was Pockernick again, and Andrew Pockernick has been a big target here for the Broncos. We're going to run a hurry-up offense with a 31-point lead. Just trying to get as many plays in as possible here for next week, perhaps.
Yeah, I think the offensive coordinator is Todd Wiseman, or defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's on the defensive side. It's Jesse Neufeld on the offensive side. And to give up the middle again, it's Pockernick. He'll dive forward inside the 15. He'll be probably 5 yards short of that first down. So the Broncos here are in control of this one as the clock continues to tick down here. Now the Broncos slow it down here on offense using the play clock and holding a substantial lead.
Yes, I think this is proper etiquette, so to speak. And do what you have to do, get the right players in, etc. But, hey, you don't need to hurry up.
So Henkel in the shotgun. He will look to pass to his left side as a man flagged down. Pass was dropped anyways. Intended target on the play was Garrett Krzyzanowski, who had a great onside punt recovery in that first half, but unable to bring that one in, but we do have a flag on the play. We offside to Valley, and that might even move the chains here, depending on where the spot is. It'll be very close. Might be just a touch short of that first down, bringing up 3rd and inches. And we'll see when they eventually do move it up, just if the Broncos will be looking at a first down situation or not. Very close. Broncos on the ball. Knocking on the door here again. And it'll be very close. I think he's a couple chain links short of that first down, Brian, and we'll bring up 2nd and inches.
Very tight. You got it.
All right, so Henkel again in the shotgun here. This could be a free play if you want to look at it here, and he will like to keep the ball in the play action. Rolling to his right, has a man down there, and it's nicely deflected away by Jeanson defensively as Desmond Jeanson knocked it away, brings up 3rd here and inches.
I think a factor of the game as I keep watching the offensive lines, especially, both teams, because that's where the game is won or lost, I always think. And to see the load, I think each player must be 20 pounds less, the front 5 at the average on, so that, that's a
big advantage.
1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah, no, they're quite a bit bigger on that.
Well, the Broncos aren't a big football team this year, that's for sure. The handoff up the middle. No, making a pitch to Tubajan. He'll cut to the right side, and he's tackled inside the 5. It'll be a first down, but we have a flag down in the end zone. And nice design play there. Had me fooled there as Tubajan took the pitch, trying to run it up that right sideline.
I just built them up, that offensive line, and then I saw the ball was snapped and 2 guys didn't even leave. So they left so late, but that wasn't why the flag is called, of course. But no, you want to, is there things any team can improve? Well, for sure. And one of them, I would say, get that old lineman going together. You can't have one guy a step behind.
So penalty is against the Broncos. So after the yards were gained, so it will be, I believe, first down here. And the Broncos, of course, marched back after the penalty, so they'll scrimmage from their 14-yard line of the Valley Huskers, try to add to what's already a big lead. Colby Henkel again has one on the backfield, and that is Pockernick. He's had a big game here so far tonight. Pockernick gets the carry, fumbles, picks it back up, looking for room. He's surrounded, and he's going to be gang tackled here just shy of the line of scrimmage, so a little bit of miscommunication or the handoff unable to be executed. It'll bring up second down.
Just one other little item. All the officials now, I don't know if you noticed, but they do have new uniforms, and it looks very official. I think it's a fancy-looking outfit, so to speak, a nice change.
Yeah, they do look pretty good here.
Yeah, it makes all of them look 10, 20 pounds lighter.
And I think it's been a well-officiated game here as well so far tonight. Henkel back to pass. Loads of time. He'll throw left side, finding Bernier. Bernier toward the 5, and he's gang tackle. He's hit hard. Fumble on the play. It was knocked out of bounds. Was Bernier down, though, as he was tackled around the 5, just short of the first down before that ball popped loose. We're going to have third down here, I think. Third and maybe a foot as the Broncos continue here to have a pretty good drive here going and eating up this clock slowly with 8.5 now to play.
Yeah, now we're just, I guess, into the phase of just waiting for this game to end. There's 8 minutes left. Lots can happen, but again, it's been rather a slow.
Henkel is gang tackled, sacked behind at the 10-yard line as Valley bringing all sorts of rush in there, and it's Tyler McStravick who wrapped up Henkel. Didn't see him coming from his blind side, and McStravick makes the play. And what was second and inches turns in now to Sorry, that was they were going for it there on third down, were they?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Sorry, a turnover on downs, I should say. After that, I was really surprised that Henkel was back passing in a third and a foot scenario, and maybe that's what happens sometimes, and you try to maybe overthink it.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
So just getting a score update here, passing our way. It's now the Okanagan Sun have come back to tie that game now 14-all as they play West Shore, who opened up with a 14-0 lead, but Okanagan has come back now in a 14-all game. So it's Valley on offense now, and a handoff here. Up the left side, looking for room is Vicklin. Vicklin finds the room, turns the corner, flag down. He's ridden out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And a new quarterback in there for Valley as well as we have Nicola Nika back into quarterback now for Falconer, who's likely out of this game.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them. They made a great play. They're probably their best offensive play of the game, and now it's called back for some push from behind.
Nikolai
so
Nika. Yeah. You see that flag come down, and that's maybe what opened up the hole there a little bit, but there was lots of room for Vicklin to run on that left side. But now marched way back.
Oh, mother.
Yeah, that's one of those penalties you take on the offensive side that marches you all the way back now to their own 1-yard line here. It'll be 1st and 20 after the penalty. Had to have been a necessary roughness call. And now they're
push from behind. It was
Nico, a throw. It's incomplete, but again, another flag comes in there. So Nikolai Nika intending that pass for DeAndre O'Connor, but another flag here. And we'll let them sort this out.
Offside Broncos.
Waiting for that penalty here. That would at least get it to 1st and 15. Then it is offside Broncos here as we wind things down. Again, BCFCTV.com is powered this season by Remax. And we'd like to thank Remax for their sponsorship of the BCFC and the Kamloops Broncos here this football season. So 1st and 15 after the offside call. Clock continues to run here. 7.5 to go in this one. All but decided. Handoff. Vicklin up the gut. He has a few, and then he's stopped and taken down. And you got Tevin McCarty out there wrestling around a little bit here with big offensive lineman for Valley being Satver Buller, and no flags out of that.
I'll just make a little point on Brad Yamoka as well, the head coach of the Broncos. He's the 10th year with the Broncos, and after a steady and hard-working CFL career, he came back to help the community here and became the head coach of the Broncos. So kudos to him and to all the other coaches who volunteer your time. And
blitz coming, and quarterback under trouble, and Nika just forced to throw it away as Tevin McCarty, and also in the mix there defensively, looked like getting a jump in there was it Justin Haverkamp as well, putting the pressure on him, and it'll bring up third down here as they blitz there on that last opportunity on Nika and force him to throw that ball away really early.
yeah, Curtis Muchman too has always been. He's always close to the
big
play.
D lineman. He's
Yes.
been involved here.
I'm
We
impressed.
talk about some of the defensive leaders. Really the Broncos only had to make fill two holes from last season. And guys like Tevin McCarty, Jesse Zajeros, Kieran Muir, Darby Kwan are going to be guys that we're going to see a lot of this season. And that defense looks a whole lot better than it did to close out last year.
I definitely agree. I did not know that there was that many returnees, and yeah, that's good to hear.
So it looks like Harris, the punter, will concede the safety inside his own end zone, and that'll get the Broncos up now 41-8, 6:23 to go here in this fourth quarter, and they'll be receiving the ball. Now, if you're the Broncos, do you just want the game to go smoothly so you leave your starters in, or do you perhaps get in a second string back and maybe a quarterback, give Colby Henkel the rest of the night off here?
You might keep defensively. You definitely put players in there. You put your backups in for sure. The ones who are waiting. Offensively, you do it spotty, the O-line especially, and sure, you can put in whole new receivers, etc. But that's my feeling of how I've always done it, especially when it's a runaway like this. Yeah, you have to give them some time, and not say, oh, it's too much time left on the clock. You got it covered. You don't have to do all 8 at once or whatever. But, yeah, let them play. Put the new guys in. And I think we see an old lineman, guard.
We do see some changes here on the Broncos side of the ball.
Yeah, so that's good. It keeps everybody.
Looks like Ryan Dirkson's now in at quarterback as well.
Oh,
so
good.
Ryan Dirkson will get a shot here, 6:14 to go. Instead of the kickoff after the safety, the Broncos will just elect to take it at the 35 and get their offense here onto the field as they get the chains here set. Again here for Ryan Dirkson, getting his first snaps of the ball game. He will hand off here on the left side, looking for a little bit of room, and lots of room here to run all the way up that left side. That's Sakalovsky, and he's tackled now. Did he fumble? Oh, the ball popped loose late, but Sakalovsky all the way to the 50-yard line. He made a name for himself on special teams earlier in this game with that tackle on the punter Harris, and Sakalovsky with great speed on that left side.
He's got wheels, is right. Yes, he just has, right near the end of the game, lots of energy. Very good to see a guy with that excitement and ability as well, speed and whatever else, some deeks he put in there.
Yeah, Gabe was flying there, and now Dirkson from the Valley's 50. Handoff up the middle, Tubajan. Flag comes in right as the ball is snapped. A gain of 5 for Tubajan if it stands.
Just on Sakalovsky, I coached Sakalovsky, and that's sort of an unusual name, and the one that I coached was stout and strong and one of the most dedicated players I've ever had. But this guy looks like a little smaller version of him, but very quick feet. And if he has the energy and the qualities that, in terms of grit, I'll tell you, this little guy can play for a long time as well.
It was was it offside Broncos? Yes, so that moved it back 5, and it will be 1st and 15 now as Ryan Dirkson will come in under center now. Empty backfield, passing. He'll screen it out. It's caught. Sakalovsky again. He'll cut it up. He is fighting forward. He's got a first down and more. And the Broncos here finding a gem in Sakalovsky, and he will scamper for the first down. Boy, he has He has that burst here that you like to see in a running back.
Oh, does he ever? Exactly. That burst is what you want. You want a guy that can see holes, and when there's a hole, go for it. And yes, exciting little player.
And that'll move the sticks from 1st and 15 to first down as the ball is spotted at the 36-yard line. Make that the 46-yard line. Our line markers have been knocked down here from some of the wind here, and the handoff again. It's Saklovsky now trying to make someone miss, but not this time. He's hauled down near the line of scrimmage on a nice tackle by Valley's Tyler McStravick, the linebacker. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
McStravick did an excellent job of cutting him off and bringing him down to the ground very efficiently. So, no, it was good that to see that, not that he got sacked or got tackled, but that another player helped or was part of the play anyways.
So it's a gain of 1, and here comes the blitz here coming, and Dirksen throws out of the reach of the intended target, which again was Saklovsky. It's been his drive here for the most part. It'll bring up 3rd and 9 from about the 35-yard line, and punting situation here for the Broncos. So Broncos move the ball efficiently there for a time being there with Dirksen at quarterback and Gabe Saklovsky handling some of the duties both out of the backfield and as a receiver.
Yeah, and I can see as well some of the other players, the other old linemen that have been, where the starters are all now taking their proper seats, and they own those little seats, I'm sure. That so-and-so goes there, and they're all happy to take a rest and let the other guys come in for the rest of the game.
All right, and the punt this time from Couture goes out of bounds just inside the 20. Call it the 17-yard line. And the Valley Huskers will go to work with 3:11 to go here on the clock and a 41-8 lead for the Broncos. They have done this with touchdown passes to Tim Salipa, as well as Brody Bernier, and as well Jacob Tubajan's pair of touchdown runs from 4 and 2 yards. The Broncos have moved the ball. Their defense has played well, and special teams, especially that onside punt recovery, was simply fantastic. So a lot of the coaching staff will be happy with this one for the Broncos here. As again, Valley will go to work. It's a handoff up the left side, looking for a little bit of room, and on the carry there was Garrett Fedak, as we go deep into the rosters on the depth charts now, as Fedak with the run, and a nice tackle in there by the Broncos' Darcy Cherneff.
I thought it was a great scoot by number 33 as well. He ran with great energy and a couple little moves, so that was good to see that their backups are right there as well and willing to do as much as they can do to keep this, to keep their team together, so to speak.
All right, so it'll be the 3-minute warning, and we're right back to action now as clock runs. And it is a new quarterback, Nika, in the game here for Valley. Handoff again, some room, turning and churning is Fedak again, and he'll get enough for a first down. He's able to run it to the 35-yard line, so Fedak getting some late carries and moving the chains.
Yeah, both teams are changing up, letting everybody play, so that's good. And you'll see, as we just did, a good little spurt again from the running back. So that's what this time is for, and they don't just want to come to practice all the time. They're going to love to get into a game.
So the Valley Huskers will stay on offense. Nikolai Nika at the controls, as both these teams have taken out some of their starters on both sides of the ball. Low snap, Nika picked it up, but as he does that, they blow it down. So likely a procedure call here. Nika, I think, wasn't expecting that snap, and maybe the snap count was off a little bit here. New cadence from Nika, and that'll likely move it back 5 yards.
But that wind has stayed there, and
yeah, it has
slowed.
Yeah. It wasn't very strong around 5 o'clock, about an hour before kickoff, but it just picked up, and some of the Broncos sponsor signs they had set up along the sidelines were blowing all over the place on the track here below us, and they just decided to give up on the idea of setting them up and rather laying them down flat with water jugs to try to weigh them down here, and now they're going to pack those up as well. Some of the great sponsors for the Broncos this season. Nika to pass. It is thrown to the left side, caught, and trying to take on 4 tacklers there was Valley's, let's see, was that Fedak again? And he's pushed back here before a decent gain here on what was 1st and 15.
Good runs and good tackles. This is good to see all these other guys getting in, and as I said before, but it's also they're getting so excited. Some hopping, jumping to get onto that field.
That was Grayson Marquardt. Sorry, I apologize. It was Grayson Marquardt on the carry. Want to get his name in there again. Decent little return and took on 3 tacklers. So 2nd and 5. Clock continues to run here in the final 2 minutes of play. And Nika in the shotgun. He'll take the pass. The lefty wants to air it out this time, and he throws to no one in particular, and that'll bring up 3rd down. So where do the Broncos go from here? Brian, do you think? You have a Week 1 victory. Schedule only gets tougher. Their next home game is August 12th against West Shore. And the Broncos here, I'm sure this is exactly how they wanted to start, to keep Valley without a win, keep them winless, and continue the season off on a right note here after beating Valley to close out the year last year.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I think most of these teams, on paper, they're supposed to fight for the last spot, from what I had heard and looked at from on the website of BCFC. But on the other hand, you want to, especially for Kamloops, hey, we got something here, and so maybe they, are going to have another upset or whatever. But it's a trying time, I guess you might say, in terms of what do you do next week, and you don't want to get too cocky, and the other guys, you don't want them to feel too down. So the coaching staffs have to do both. One has an entirely different job than the other, but. You have to make your guys, if you lost, of course, pick them up, and if they win, hey, to take them down a little step. So,
punting situation here for Valley as Harris stands at his 25. It's a high snap, but he handles it, and he will put a high punt toward the sidelines. It'll bounce once, stay in play. Joseph catches it, and he is buried on a no yards play on the hop. And yes, in the rule book, it's a 5-yard penalty, but do they make that a 15-yarder for the hit that Joseph took there fielding that punt?
And we're getting the message that it's 15, yes.
Makes sense there, too.
Yeah.
It's one of those late in the game plays you don't need. Joseph handling that punt on the hop and immediately hit on the play. And not going to mean much really at the minute 24. Broncos are really just a first down away with good clock management from putting an end to this game.
Yeah, it's tough at this time of game. Of a football game, anyhow. It's a lot different than even hockey. Where hockey, you can still, even though you're down maybe 8-1 or something. Here in football, it's an entirely different feeling.
A 30-yard penalty on that total play there. So the no yards and the unnecessary roughness. A 25-yard penalty for that. An attack on the 5. So, wow. So, yeah, message maybe being sent there to clean it up here in the final minute and a half. And it is still Dirksen at quarterback for the Broncos. He will throw incomplete, and no one likes to see the incomplete pass in the final minute 20 of a game that's 41-8. If the people in the press box could have it, it would be on the ground, and the clock would continue to move here in this game.
You hit it on the head.
So, although the Broncos have been pretty efficient passing so far tonight, keeping the clock moving in that category.
So we're going to have you go down to talk to Jesse after the game.
Well, it is. They looked like they were going to march 5 yards back, but instead they keep it right on the line of scrimmage here, and they'll play 2nd and 10, minute 19 to go. Here comes the blitz. Neufeld passing again. Flag on the play. Neufeld will throw. It's out of the reach of the intended target. So I guess Valley saying if you're going to pass, we're going to blitz you in the final minute and a half here, although we did see a flag come down. The penalty is against Valley, and we'll wait and see what the call is for. Could have been an offside call as Valley really charged the line there, at looking to bring the house on the Broncos and Dirksen. And they will call offside Valley, and it'll bring up 2nd and 5. So the Broncos in control, 41-8, and just winding down the clock, so we think. But a 2nd and 5 scenario, and Dirksen in the shotgun.
Yeah, at the end of the game, again, because we get cut off short at the end, Kamloops has to be happy with what they've accomplished. They thought they were going to be even. It would be a tough game, and it has been. But again, they should be happy. And again, how do you build up the Huskers? Well, just have to be patient with them, and hopefully they can keep up with it in the next game that they play. But again, it's a little bit tougher, of course, if you lose. So be a patient coach.
So the Broncos ran a play, but they were offside of the play as Hitesh Parekh made the catch, but that'll be negated as most of the receiving core was 4 or 5 yards over the line of scrimmage when that ball was snapped. So now we have 2nd and 10 after offside calls on both sides of the ball, and it's 2nd and 10. And again, Dirksen will pass here. And pass is tipped and intercepted, and that was Jeanson on the interception. And perhaps that's what the Broncos said coming to them here, passing here down the stretch, maybe trying to cover the spread. I'm not sure. But regardless, it'll be the Valley Huskers going on offense here with 55 seconds to go here on the clock.
But on the other hand, I know what happens. You want to get the second guy in.
True, you're right. You want him to get some plays in. And
right.
Yeah, I guess they're coaching for that for sure. And everyone else is just trying to get out of here with the game already being decided.
Oh, definitely.
So here's Valley, and they're going to take the same philosophy here. Shotgun, Nika, complete, and a flag comes down again. I think that's about 6 straight plays of the flag.
Mama.
As that pass was good for about 7 yards on the play. And we had another flag here with 47 seconds to go on the clock. See what the call was for. 2 flags on the field, actually. And we have too many men on the field here, defense. So that's a 10-yard penalty. Broncos trying to play with 13 there on the field, at least maybe more than 13. Sometimes when you get the subs in, you're not knowing your assignments and things can get confusing here. So it will be first down after the call, and up the middle, a good tackle in there made by Daniel Kabongo, and sorry, not Daniel Kabongo, I should apologize. That was Corbin Brown. Corbin Brown with a big tackle here late in the game, and that'll be a play that he'll remember here later on tonight. So Corbin Brown with a big tackle sets up what'll be 2nd and about 8. And the clock running here now after that running play on 2nd and 8. Movement at the line, but the flags stay in, and now Nika's going to run. He's going to try to run for the first down. He will get the first down, put his head down, fumble the football. It's picked up, and the Broncos have it. And down the sidelines and trying to get there to the 25, the 20, and flags all over the field. But we have a Broncos touchdown, and it looks like it's Josh Isaac getting that fumble. So it's the game that just won't end here for the Valley Huskers, who now see the Broncos put up 6 more defensively, but we do have a flag here on the play and behind the play, Brian, so we'll wait and see.
Yes, a very, very odd finisher. Parts to this game. It was so close in the first half and tight. No one knew what would happen, of course, and the way it should be in most games. And then the bottom fell out, so to speak, for the Huskers. But
well, Josh Isaac is doing his best Clay Matthews impersonation with the long hair, and he was able to run one in. And I'm not sure if this is going to count, though. I don't think it will because of a penalty on the fumble return. And with 4 seconds left, let's see if Dirksen just decides to take a knee and finish this Week 1 football game off with the Broncos up 41-8. So Isaac's return is negated, but it is still Broncos football. And we'll see if Coach Yamoka and company just want to take the knee or they want to run another play here with Dirksen at the helm at quarterback. They will spot the ball at the 35-yard line.
they're going in victory, so that's good.
All right, victory formation. Yeah. Yes, there it is. Coach's best friend and broadcaster's best friend as well. As they snap the ball, they'll let it wind down. They'll have to do that one more time here, though. But the Broncos should be very happy with their 3 phases of the game here as Dirksen takes a knee. And you can now put it in the books as the Broncos Week 1 victory, 41-8 over the Valley Huskers to start off the year on the right note in front of over 700 people, Brian. And that's going to make the home team feel pretty good about things.
You got it. I think the home team is very proud of what they've done, and we'll see what happens next week when the competition becomes a little tougher. But anyhow, yes, it was a nice evening in terms of temperature, except for the wind. But
well, Broncos run away with it, Brian. We'll do it again on August 12th here for a home game against West Shore, and that'll be a tough challenge for sure.
Yeah.
So thanks again for popping by, Brian, and we'll do it again in a couple Saturdays.
You're good. Thank you very much.
Broncos run away with this one, a 16-8 lead at the half. 41-8 is the final. Jacob Tubajan, 2 touchdowns on the ground, as well as a strong game from Colby Henkel. As the 2 teams shake hands, that'll do it for us. You've been watching BCFC TV here from Hillside Stadium.